I need the music that I just started. I actually need to play it. Okay. Oh, and then I didn't link the stream, so that worked pretty well.
Well done.
Okay, now I need to post in the MetaShift Discord, and then call it good.
Ooh. Oh. So wait, what are we doing? We're casting the series.
Yeah. Yes.
A best of 3
Best of 3.
between Rodham
Harvest and rawr.
and rawr.
Rawr.
Just rawr?
Yeah.
Does that stand for anything?
No.
It should.
It should, but it doesn't.
Very good. Sorry, I'm getting messaged by like 3 different people.
You're fine. We're waiting on draft wall.
Very good. Look. This is for MetaShift.
Yeah, MetaShift Neon Division.
Rescheduled. Okay. I all this information I could just get from the event page. I will just read the little event notification.
I don't mind. I haven't. I don't know. I don't really do research or anything. I just kind of vaguely know who's playing because I fill in the scheduling page.
Very good then. So are they like in playoff contention?
Yeah. So our boys are 4-3, and
Yeah.
rawr is 3-3. Right now they're 4th, 5th in the league. The top 4 spots automatically qualify for playoffs, and 5th has to play in the stupid gauntlet thing. So you have to play a stupid gauntlet match, and then you have to play a quarterfinal match if you're 5th.
So are they already locked for like 5th at the lowest?
I think there's one more week after this. Oh, I didn't quite want that. Okay, there we go.
Did you get the pick?
I put the draft wall in, but it was just over top of everything else, so
Oh, okay.
it didn't look very good.
I thought you selected the captain pick or something.
No. Yeah, I'm drafting for rawr. I don't know, let me open up the league sheet, see if anything's updated since the last time I looked. Because yeah, we've got one more game. We're playing HPU Silver, who is they're 1-5. So, and then rawr has a double week, I guess, in the last week.
Yeah, I mean, this says reschedule. Is it? Looks like they had some schedule issue or something, or
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Lane
then-
took away my permission to read the gold chats. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Why do you take that away?
Because I had it because I was a captain, and now I'm not a captain.
Oh, okay.
It's very important that all my roles get removed so that the only thing that shows up is fantasy done. So my name is Brown, and everyone can spit on me in the server.
I like that it's jointly you and Lane, though. That's maybe the most important part.
It doesn't feel like it's jointly me and Lane. I'll say that. That's funny though. I actually didn't realize that it was me and Lane. I'm gonna ping him. Gosh. And when you're getting pinged by it, it like barely shows up because it's almost the same color as the.
Yeah, so the boys have lost. The 3 games they've dropped are all to the 3 teams ahead of them. So they kind of need this one to stay in 4th.
Yeah. I see. Oath is in Twitch chat asking you to call someone.
Who do I need to call?
I don't know if that's a serious request or
call Hider.
goofy bit.
Okay. Let me see if I have a way to call Hider. Give me a sec. Alright, he's been messaged, but we'll see what happens, I guess. We're missing our support, so.
We're putting you in.
I unfortunately don't meet requirements for this, so.
You're too high of a rank, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's it. Yeah.
that is.
Peter Griefer.
Peter Griefer.
That's our guy. I hope. And even get my time to do my vocal warm-ups, my stretches. That's what Harvest is doing. They're just delaying for me.
Yeah. You have a lot of vocal warm-ups you usually do?
No. There's one clip from when it was Legends and I was playing in it. There's a nice clip of me like standing up before a game to stretch and hearing in the background, just letting it all out. But can't say I get a lot of vocal warm-ups in nowadays. Or ever, actually.
If I suddenly go mute for a little bit, I'm probably just blowing my nose.
No problem. If I suddenly go mute, my brain has run out of words to say.
That's fair. I took a second Benadryl. We'll see if I make it through the cast.
Guys, we're gonna have to watch the VOD of Game 3. We're not making it.
I mean, there might not be a game 1 at this rate.
Yeah, what they do? I mean, do they have subs?
So Oath is already one of their subs.
Ah. Wait, hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I think one of us cut for a sec.
Ah.
So I heard you say Oath is already one of the, and then silence. Got any big plans for the holiday?
No. I'm watching the dogs so that my wife can go hang out with one of her friends. That's the big life.
Huge. Yeah. So we can do a draft whenever you're ready. Do they know if they have a support player?
Nope.
Interesting. Do I still have my sub? Huge.
Who was pinging me? Oh, it's literally the thing I typed. Okay.
The thing you typed is pinging you.
Making people agree to the code of conduct because I have to be the bad guy.
Oh yeah, yeah, the bad guy doing that horrible thing. Are they starting draft? Yeah, they are.
They are. I guess.
It's begun.
We'll show a draft. There's one happening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to what's sure to be one of the best casts that you'll ever listen to.
What?
It's on
Why
me.
do you say that?
Sometimes you're just slammed by seasonal allergies, and
Oh, yeah.
you're dying, and you have to try to cast a game anyway. And then you get, somebody in literally 2 minutes before the start of the actual game.
I meant to message you earlier, and then I just forgot.
Okay, well we've had this planned for at least several minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Return of the Middlesticks Harvest on the blue side and rawr on the red side. This is a pretty big game for playoff implications that I'm sure we can talk about at some point. Rodham doesn't get any bans because they're using a sub, I guess. I'm not really sure. I'm assuming
I would assume that there's lots of bans, or they're true competitors. It could be either one. They want to play against the best, but probably lots of bans. I mean, yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm actually intrigued by what we might see on the draft here, right? Because it's durability patch 12.10, right?
Woo.
New patch, new meta, new champs that are good and playable. Like Kale, already banned by rawr, really high priority champ, but the loss of bans means like a lot of them are going to be left up. Viego, pretty strong. I like it. Nice blue 1 pick.
Yeah, and it's great because you're essentially picking all of your opponent's champions too by picking Viego. So
So true. Yeah, all those new OP champs. Just theorizing about. Rodham's actually picking all of them.
Alright, there's Olaf. He's one of those champions that is pretty strong right now.
Yeah, of all the champions in the game, Olaf is one of them. I mean, it's probably a flex. I think Olaf's he's performed a lot better top lane this patch, and in general since his rework. His jungle is kind of nerfed actually from where it was, even though it wasn't too good before they reworked him. But he's been doing really well in top lane, dropping really good numbers, especially against tanks, so flex pick makes it a little interesting to play around.
Ooh, that's a lot of priority on Nautilus to go ahead and grab him this early on.
Yeah, I know some people around these parts. I think Vaughn's busy, so he's probably not watching. But I know he's a big Nautilus hater, but I think there's something to be said about point and click CC. You know, the champ is not particularly strong to certain meta support matchups. Let's see what Rodham responds with. I am praying that we don't go with a little Leona Nautilus handshake on 12.10. That'd make me sad. Kaisa locked in though.
Yeah, Kaisa seems like one of the 80 carries that got a little bit better because of the durability patch. There's a couple that got worse, but she wasn't one of them. And they'll lock it in with a Lulu. We don't know who's playing the Lulu, but somebody will be playing Lulu. They have a purple
We
buff.
got. Oh wait, we had someone in the lobby.
It was their support. Yeah,
who left
he
and
moved over.
okay.
Yeah.
Someone will be playing Lulu in this game. Oh,
Oh, Matsuro has
Lulu-
responded. He's alive. I don't know what's
thank
going
goodness.
on with that, but
That's step one, right?
yeah, we know that he didn't die, and that's actually very important because
Yes.
we like to make sure that all of our players are alive and well. Samira is going to be locked in for rawr. Samira Nautilus is pretty good. Not as good against the Lulu, I would say, but it's a really strong, aggressive bottom lane that can punish the Kaisa super hard.
Yeah, Nautilus Samira. I mean, it's kind of a classic aggressive Samira lane, right? I I mean, you see the Lulu and you just want to hook the little Yordle and one-shot her, basically. I don't hate it. Samira's, I think, in a better spot right now than she's been for a lot of the last year or so.
Yeah,
And
it felt like she
Lulu-
was kind of notoriously weak there for a little bit, but
she was the newest 200 years, and then there's enough moaning and complaining about it that Riot did something about it, and they just shattered her kneecaps. But they've been giving her little touch-ups over the last little while, so should be looking good. Diana Swain taken away by rawr, Graves and unknown other champion on the board for Rodham. Ornn will be gone. So I think what Ari, I think I would have loved if rawr just slammed Swain on 4. Honestly, I don't know if they play it, but it seems like it would go well with their comp, and then they can hold their Olaf flex still. But Ari does the same thing as far as flex pick. Ari very strong, was strong before the durability patch, has remained fairly strong. Not maybe best in the game, but pretty good, and it's a Syndra response.
so Syndra has to be just a lane matchup, right? Because Syndra, I don't think got significantly better because of the patch, or maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think Syndra is performing worse, and I think people kind of expected her to, but the lane matchup, I mean, it's basically a skill matchup, right? Ari Syndra. But it also gives you a little bit more agency in some of your skirmishes with Scatter the Weak. It's not a bad pick. Pled 5. The Gwen.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting. So it is Olaf jungle.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's Gwen jungle. That's a possibility. That Gwen is probably better as a jungler right now. I'll say that. If that's what rawr's doing, I'm a fan.
Yeah, this
Kled is interesting as well. Sorry, you go.
I was gonna say this is a pretty interesting draft. Saint's Kled is his like one trick. That's just a huge comfort pick for him. So that's good to see that they get that and that he feels confident playing that into the Olaf or into a blind matchup. I don't know how Kled versus Olaf or Gwen should go or will go, but if Saint says that he can play it, then it's probably okay.
Yeah, I mean, Kled seems fine into both of those. I think the champ gives Rodham a good amount of agency in their engage that they were kind of missing until the Kled was locked in.
Yeah. They had a pretty solid Kled game 2 nights ago when they played on the MetaShift stream. Unfortunately, it fell apart because they were against Kale Master E, and they didn't close the game out before 30 minutes.
Holy.
But prior to that 30 minutes, they were winning. They got them down to a Nexus Tower, so
oh man,
just a little more urgency, and that game's a dub. So
yeah, I mean, good looks. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these comps. Feels like there's a lot of weird stuff going on. So rawr has Nautilus, Ari pretty much as their engage. Rodham has Kled. They have Syndra looks. They have Viego flanks. It's not bad. There's a part of me that feels like we could have gotten a better response into the Nautilus with Lulu. Just Lulu, I don't think is particularly good on this patch, but I think that she just has some particularly good buddies. Vayne and Kog'Maw are like two of the outliers of champs that everyone's talking about this patch, and Lulu's obviously kind of the classic pairing with Kog, and performs well with Vayne. You know, we see a lot of Jinx Lulu. It's just Lulu and hyper carry. She's good at making them strong, but I don't know if she's actually that great in this 2v2.
So you don't think Lulu's great by herself, but you think that she brings a lot to the table for her ADC. So if you get a strong ADC, it just makes them stronger.
Yeah, and again, I don't exactly know what people's champion pools are. Lulu could also just be most comfortable Enchanter, which I think an Enchanter in general is a good response to Nautilus. And I mean, your other options are what, like Soraka. Maybe you probably don't want to lock a Nami here. It would feel really bad into Samira. Maybe. Oh, honestly, what I'm thinking is Senna. Senna would be extremely free here. Maybe not paired with Kaisa, but Senna support into Nautilus, and then you can pair it with any champion almost. I think Senna doesn't like to be paired with hyper carry ADCs, but any mage, any bruiser, any Tom Kench, any whatever. Senna support just farms Nautilus for souls and also performs really well into Samira. There's a chance Rarge doesn't pick Samira if they have Senna on the board, but in my mind, that's the only part that stuck out to me for the side of Rodham is
You'd change up the Lulu.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would change up not necessarily the Lulu, just the whole way we respond to Nautilus. So I think that when teams blind pick Nautilus, they give you a window to kind of abuse that. But if this is the most comfortable we get and we like it in the Nautilus, then there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah. So give us the Lexus big hitters then on this patch, right? So this is our brand new 12.10 draft. We picked a couple funny little champions for this one that maybe aren't optimal on this patch. What would you like to see replaced to make them like best in patch comps?
Okay, my favorite characters we have locked in here. I think Viego's very strong. I don't know how I feel about him blue 1. I think that the strongest pick right now is probably Wukong still in the jungle, right? Champion's been going crazy at MSI. I mean, if you watch the finals, it was pretty much, but it was also, the finals was pretty much Viego, Wukong, almost every game. Some Lee Sin in there as well.
It was the Gwen B1 though. The Madmen
Yeah.
doing it 3 games in a row. Well,
Yeah,
3 games
and
blue side in a row, I guess.
I think Gwen only really got better on the durability patch. When you think about the way she scales and the way she does damage, it just makes some sense. I think both of those picks are quite good. I don't really like Olaf Jungle. I would feel much better if we...
Well, so far you're looking at Gwen jungle, Olaf top.
Oh, wait. Oh. Can you hear that? That was me clapping. Applauding rawr for... maybe they just watched the stream and heard me say that, and they were like, he's right. I like this a lot more. Olaf top is a lot... Basically with Olaf's kit, with the rework, he gets less attack speed in his early levels from his passive, but they added lifesteal to his passive, and they changed his W to give him a shield instead of giving him lifesteal and self-healing. But the way that they kind of balance that move is you get less attack speed. You're actually, even though you have it up all the time, you're getting less lifesteal. It's like halved in both regards. So when Olaf pulls up to his Scuttle Crab fight at like level 3 or level 4, he has this new shield for like 40 base plus 25% missing HP, but he's missing half of his attack speed and lifesteal from before the rework. So I think he's actually a lot weaker in the jungle in the early levels, but in top lane, he's really good at running down certain matchups, scaling up, abusing his Q in the longer lane, and having the lifesteal on constantly just feels nice, you know? It's like Nasus passive on a better champion.
Yeah, Nasus is a support champion now, apparently.
That's so true. He's a mid laner where I come from, but other than that, I think Ahri is fine. There's nothing wrong with Ahri. I think, especially as a blind pick, you can't ask for a lot more. Syndra, if that's comfort, it's okay. I think Talia is a really strong performing champion on this patch in both mid and jungle, but she's also a bit difficult to play, I think, if you've never picked up Talia. So I understand why early in the patch, if people aren't saying, "Oh, Talia's became OP like 4 days ago. I'm going to play her this weekend in my competitive match." You know,
Yeah, and do you feel like that's a result of her rework more, or the durability patch helping her out?
the rework. You're right, actually. It is the rework, and then the durability patch. Her win rate only went up, I think. I think she actually got a lot better in other roles on the rework patch. Maybe that was just people figuring her out better over time from the rework. It's hard to say. Anivia is a champion.
Anivia is a champion.
Anivia is a champion. I forget about Anivia. Now that character, I actually haven't looked because they hotfix nerfed Anivia. I don't think it was particularly hefty, but that champion day 1, day 2 of the patch had a 56% win rate across like Platinum Plus and higher levels of solo queue. She's fallen a bit, but she's still looking really strong. I'm looking her up. And that champion seems maybe more accessible to an average player to pick up and learn. If that makes sense. Like I think Anivia is kind of a high skill cap, but her base kit is not terribly complicated.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of nuance to the wall, but other than that, it's really straightforward kit.
Yeah. I mean, it's clear what you want to do and how you want to do it. It just takes a few reps to get it down.
What I think is weird is I don't feel like I've seen a lot of Victor this patch, but he got stronger off the durability patch, essentially. He gets to scale more for free, and that champion was already just a champion that scaled for free.
Yeah, I don't know about Victor. I think he's like relative to other champions, it's like a neutral patch for him. I think he's still good, but he is just falling out of favor a little bit, I think.
His arcane buff finally wore out.
Something like that. Him and Jinx and Jace.
I think Jinx is still fine. I kind of hate it, but I think
their arcane buff isn't gone, but it's wearing a little bit, you know?
They need Season 2 to come around here.
Yeah, Season 2 needs to drop fast for all the Jinx mains.
Anyway, we got 35 seconds left before we load into game number 1. Again, this is a pretty big game for playoff implications. Rodham comes in at 4-3, rawr at 3-3, and both teams trying to stay above that 4 bubble for an automatic playoff spot. I was kind of reading through the playoff rules, and they're wild. Basically, you just don't want to drop if you can.
Yeah, it sounds like they have like a wild card format where you have the top number of teams guaranteed, and then a few of the teams that are at the bottom of the playoff viability get a chance to redeem themselves.
Yeah, so the 1st through 4th seed advance to playoffs. 5, 6, 7, and a wild card advance to the gauntlet, where they will fight for the remaining spots in the playoffs. The wild card is either the 8th, 9th, or 10th place team, solely dependent upon the performance of each team's last 4 matches.
Interesting.
And then you play the gauntlet, which is double elim. The 5th and 6th seed are in the upper bracket for the gauntlet, and the 5th seed has their choice of opponent. And
okay.
Yeah, I'm just reading this.
Wow.
So you essentially have like a little MSI, or God, if I say GSL group, probably people don't know what that means, for your bottom 4 teams, and then that qualifies you for the quarterfinals as the 5th and 6th seeds. So 1 and 2 get a first round bye in the regular playoffs as well. That seems pretty wild. I don't know.
I'm sorry. What is this Ari skin?
Dynasty Ari.
I've never seen this before.
It's a really old skin. This was her release skin for the Korean server.
Okay.
She was also released at the same time as the Korean server, which is kind of interesting.
Little lore master moment. Are they paused at the start? Or I just can't, I bet like the black screen thing. I know it just does this sometimes. You just click ahead.
Yeah, my thing is also broken, which is kind of interesting. Where
Oh, they're starting.
Where is the Rodham thing for the scoreboard? I have a lot of questions right now and no answers. They're starting? Okay, there we go. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm in. Now they're paused. Cool.
Very good.
Nothing really happened, so I don't think I'm giving anything away by not showing this. Where did my funny Rodham team name go?
So wait, if we both stop on the pause, will it like sync us up when the pause ends?
I don't know. Not a
We'll
clue.
find out. We'll find out. I like what we've got on the stream right now, which is the double Middlesticks logo, and one is just a little bit bigger than the other.
One is a GIF as well, and the other one's a still picture.
Yeah,
This is
I
because
see.
MSL still hasn't given me a logo of their league, which is where the big still image middle stick is. But I also have no idea what happened to the Rodham scoreboard. It just disappeared off my slide, and it's gone forever, as far as I can tell.
Rest in peace.
I don't want to order it. I want to fit to screen. Oh, that worked. Okay, I found it again. Sick. I didn't really want to do that way, but we did it. And now we're going to have to live with the consequences. Okay, there we go. I found it. I guess I made it really small at some point or flipped it off of the screen because it was just gone. So it's back. Actually,
Oh, we're
some of the
paused.
items got purchased, so I should probably actually throw up a BRB screen.
Don't want to leak the
Theoretically,
D-blades.
like,
Yeah, I got you.
I really doubt any of these teams would make huge use out of that information. Like, you got your runes and your summoner spells from the starting screen. I don't know that it's life-changing that, one of these champions started a Doran's Blade. Or,
Yeah.
we got a Corrupting Potion, or we got a Doran's Ring.
Ugh.
Now, if somebody bought a Cull, we'd need to hide that.
Just drop a little Doran's Blade PNG over everyone's inventory to make it fair. Simply lie to the viewers, I think.
Sometimes you just gotta gaslight, girl boss, gatekeep the viewers,
Yep. I agree absolutely.
Well, no real update in the chat yet. I believe it's the rawr mid laner that's DC'd currently. Yeah, it is kind of weird that he went for the Dynasty Ahri skin. Did you see? So, we all know that Ahri is a Riot favorite child, right? Did you see that she had chromas specifically released for her 10th anniversary?
Wait, say it again.
The Ahri-versary.
I'm sorry.
There were Ahri-versary chromas. For every one of her skins, she got a new chroma for her 10th anniversary.
Huge. Wait.
That just kind of happened, and every
Just
once
for
in a while,
her?
yeah, just for her. No one else. It was her 10th anniversary.
Riot doesn't have favorites, guys.
No.
I promise.
But yeah,
They're
every
not
once in a while,
manipulating anyone for money.
I see one of those chromas, and I'm just like, what the fuck is that? Oh. And then you look it up, and you're like, I guess that's a chroma. I don't.
Yeah, sure. Why
All
not?
right. Sick. Oh. We made it back. I'm live. I hit plus just to make sure. And we're doing the game, and there's the freeze. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
There's the little freezy moment.
Now, do you like the synergy? This is a nice color palette between the EDG Viego and the KDA All Out Kaisa.
Yeah, I was actually just noticing that. I wish we'd been able to kind of match that up better across the board, but we'll take what we can get.
Yeah, I like this Lulu chroma. I think is a cat. in her pool party skin, which is kind of adorable.
Rodham just set up for 5 point. Maybe something more interesting from rawr.
Yeah, rawr looks like they're headed for the El Clasico bot lane invade. They're all kind of collapsing from different angles at different times, which is kind of wild. But they're all going to be spotted on top of this ward, and they'll get the extra ward. That's unfortunately handed to the 80 carry, so that's not as good as normal, but you still take those.
Yeah, I know it's the ward. So I didn't know this, I think, until when I was playing with the Rotomasters team, and I think Jared told me or something. But apparently, the ward XP. I say apparently. I mean, I know it's true now, but the ward XP is local for everyone near it. It doesn't really
Oh.
matter if you kill it or hit it.
Okay,
Um,
so you just want the solo laner to get it if it's two people isolated, basically, so that they can get
yeah,
level 2
I
on the
mean,
first wave.
whoever kills it doesn't matter that much. I think you can have up to 4 people standing around it, and you can get XP for level 2 on first wave.
Oh.
It might just be 3, but I know you can't do it with 5 like they did. So L. But you want to introduce the squads?
Not really.
No. Okay.
No, we've sat and looked at their names for long enough. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
just make
true.
it up as we go. Um, this
Peter
is
Griefer.
yeah, this is a top lane fight that's happening between Saint and Peter Griefer. Saint, I guess, started his Q, so he's gonna get the little extra damage there with the pocket pistol after getting dismounted, but is still in a little rough spot. If he can keep Olaf away from, well, he can't keep Olaf away from the wave. He hit level 2 and now he's dead. There it is. First blood for Peter Griefer, not griefing just yet.
Yep. I mean,
Oh,
Olaf got reworked, but I would say that aspect of Olaf right there is pretty similar to how he was pre-rework. I mean, hit level 1, level 2, play aggro, spam your axe, look for your kill. Well played by Peter Griefer. I guess we're saving Flash for a more opportune moment. I don't
I mean,
hate
that's a
doing
rough
that,
one.
actually.
Yeah, even if he flashes there, I'm pretty sure he still gets run down. A lot of damage coming down on a magic collapse. He's got a flash away from the gank from Scrams, but stays alive. Importantly, does have to burn both of his pots, so could be a potential return for Scrams after some bot lane action. Did use his flash as well, so we'll have to keep an eye
Yeah.
on that.
A flash for Flash feels pretty good, I think. Whoa, Gwen. Getting a little low on the clear.
I think Gwen's got kind of a
Usain
hard
might...
clear anyway, but
It is not the easiest clear. Nice W from Oath. I don't know if it's supposed to be that low. We might get double crabbed for that.
so Saint teleported back to lane. Peter Griefer did not, so Saint actually has an XP advantage now. Does not have the item advantage. He's down a Sheen. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. Good trade onto Altera. Oath is just walking forward, though, onto Asylum, getting a lot of damage down. Catch My Hooks is going to take one of the passive procs. Magic Collapse with a good charm onto Scrams is going to be able to keep him alive, but another return gank to mid. A lot of focus coming in from Scrams.
Yeah. They're good looks mid. And Magic Lap's landing the charms on the right person. I mean, I think without seeing the front end of that, I'm assuming that Death Lotus probably used Scatter the Weak a little bit before Scrams was there. I think that if they can do a little bit better job of just syncing up on those two abilities, then they can probably find a kill here onto Ari Pre-6. Because I think that's really what they're trying to do, get it before, what is it, the Spirit Rush? Yeah. Before that's available, trying to find a kill, get Syndra a little bit ahead.
This is a good
So
trade,
they
though,
can-
from Saint. Much better now off of that one.
Yeah.
We'll see if Peter Griefer can... Oh, well, he's got his teleport, so he can afford to take it back. Scramus is in trouble, though. He's going to get spotted by Catch My Hooks in Asylum, and there is nowhere for him to go as Usain snips him for the kill.
Yep. It's a bit of an aggressive invade, and then the escape route is also a bit aggressive.
I think he was hoping the Blast Plant was going to be there, and it just wasn't. This is
Yeah, true.
not a good trade for Saint. Oh, can he get remounted, though? He needs 1 or 2 more autos.
He's close.
He's really close, but I don't know that he can get... Peter let him get back to the wave, so he'll just need one more auto on the Olaf. He'll remount, and then that can be a real pain.
Saint just got to get his W cooldown back up. The what's that called? Violent tendencies. I love Kled as a character, by the way. I wish I got to see him played more.
Yeah, that character is just fantastic. He has some of the best quotes and voice acting, I think, of any champion.
Yeah.
And he's just a hillbilly
especially
yordle.
like
Peter hit level 6, though, is just going at it. He's going to try to take Saint, but Scrams is just able to finish him off for the first kill of the game for ROTM.
And if this is solo queue and I'm Saint, I'm going in all chat and I'm saying it wasn't even close. Top gap.
Oh, Oath and
Maybe a
Altera
lip
going to
bot?
get ganked here. Usain trying to find it. Can catch my hooks. Find the hook. He's being really patient with it. Now throws it out. Able to hook Altera. They're turning onto the Lulu. A lot of damage being traded down onto Asylum. Oath just standing firm in there. Not going to be able to hit the W on the correct target there. And Asylum has his dash back out. So they'll burn the flash out of Oath will be the big return out of that. Oh, catch my hooks though with another good hook onto Altera. Gonna go ahead and ignite her as well. Catch my hooks pretty low, but Oath can't fight his way through the minion wave to be able to detonate the passive.
Yeah, and I mean, this is kind of the. I think last patch, or I think the difference on this patch versus last patch is that some of these Nautilus hooks that we're seeing would have just resulted in kills. I mean, essentially one shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why Enchanters. I mean, certain Enchanters already performed, maybe all of them. I don't play enough bot lane to be sure, but performed well in the Nautilus last patch. Just because when he hooks you, I think a lot of players who aren't comfortable with the concept, like you get,
Oh, using the ult even a little bit extra damage, and the joust through for Lil Saint for the solo kill. All right.
There you go.
That first Violent Tendencies combo was super clean, though. Used 3 autos, hit the bear trap on a rope in the middle of the 4th one, got the, the max 4th damage auto plus the pull at about the same time. That was really nicely played by Saint.
Yeah, and just in my head, this feels like a good matchup for Kled. Kled likes matchups where he benefits from his Q tether staying attached, or from having a grievous wounds applied by his Q, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a look on bot lane.
Yeah, a lot of focus being paid by Usain toward this bottom side, about similar amount to Scrams around the mid lane, but Scrams is going to go ahead, see that the Gwen is bottom, and take the Rift Herald. But now Gwen looking for the return. They're going to grab Altera, and she's going to fall as Catch My Hooks unfortunately takes that kill on the Nautilus Oath. Still sticking around just a little bit too far. Hits the missiles. Going to take a lot of damage from the ult there from Usain. Has to be really careful how he navigates this tower. A lot of health still left on Asylum and Catch My Hook.
This level 6, yeah, there. I would say he should be 6 off this wave. So are they.
Yeah, Hex Flash in,
but
not going to find the hook. Usain just going to have to walk out. Gwen is immune.
this could be a durability patch moment. I think.
Ooh, Oath, he needs to find the plasma. Now he's got the dash back. Usain not the one tanking. Asylum is. The damage finally comes through. One more shot, and it's 2 kills being turned back for the death on Oath. Altera there just in the nick of time to be able to turn that one around.
So, I don't know. Have you played or watched that many games in this patch yet?
I have played 4 or 5 ARAMs and 2 ranked flex games that were just terrible, and that's it. So
Incredible. So, in my opinion, one of the funniest changes of the whole patch is that they increase the damage towers do. And when you read the patch notes and you're thinking, oh, towers doing 15 more damage.
Well, here we go. We're going to find out again. Scram's taking a lot of damage as Peter Griefer now coming in. The joust coming in from Saint gets the dismount and the pocket pistol for the kill. Nicely chained there by ROTM, but now Usain looking for a little bit more blood. Saint getting close to the remount. He gets it back. He's back on his lizard, and that's not going to work out well for Usain, just sprinting it back to the grave.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a really dominant TV2 here in the top jungle. I think that it's well played by Saint. It's a nice stun by Scrams to make sure they can close the kill on Usain. The Rift Herald goes down. It's a lot of gold that just went over to these top 2 members, which I think is really important because this Viego and this Kled are really important to how this team fights and how they function at later stages of the game. Having gold on them is going to make this game a lot easier to play. I need to. I'm gonna start talking faster because every time I'm trying to say something, there's just more stuff going on. Oh,
The
I was saying, the funniest change to me is towers. They got their damage buffed, right? Uh, you know, same way Baron and Dragon and everything did to kind of compensate for the increased. Oh my goodness, Usain is just over the wall.
Usain is insane, and Lil Saint's going to find him with the bear trap on a rope. He's got nowhere to go, and now Scram's on the killing spree on the Viego. Well, currently the Gwen, but
Yeah.
we take those. That's a rough invade from Usain. I
Yeah.
don't know exactly what he was looking for there. And now Saint's going to
Same.
get right back onto Peter Griefer, pulls him back. Ragnarok's still just not quite available. Now finally is. He'll use it to avoid being pulled back the second time, but has to evacuate. Charm over the wall, going to land onto Scrams. Oh, didn't get the stun. That was a nice little sidestep by Magic Claps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the flash in though, catch my hooks, gets the knock up onto Oath. They'll just chain the CC together, but he's fine with the wild growth. The Inferno Trigger, not quite enough damage from Asylum, but does get the flash right off of cooldown again off of Oath.
Yep. And it's good pressure from the spot lane, but you're gonna need a little bit more based on what we're seeing on the top side of the map right now. Usain going insane in the membrane up at the blue buff. And a lot of dominance here from Lil Saint, just in general. Yeah, the unlucky.
Ooh,
Whoa.
Death Lotus? Okay, he got it. Throws the pumpkins into him. Those are a little out of season, as it turns out. And Usain will go ahead and pick up the Ocean Dragon in response. Scrams and Altera flanking from both sides. No stun there from Scrams. A little slow coming out of the Glitter Lance, the manliest ability in the game. Scrams just trying to get his way through. Gets exhausted, though. In comes the Samir ult. No one is dying. Asylum limps away with a little bit of health. Usain is able to dodge away. Saint looking for the dive. He can get demounted and still drop the tower aggro. Now look forward. It's a trade between the two AD carries. Altera takes a huge tower shot as Peter Griefer teleports in. Does the Olaf still want to turn? No Ragnarok, no Ghost available, so it doesn't look like he can catch up. Saint is just going to walk in, gets the Violent Tendencies, still looking for Catch My Hooks, but he's going to find Peter Griefer on the end of that one. Now gets remounted, trying to dash back through, trying to look for the kill onto the Nautilus, but not able to find it just yet. Peter Griefer has the Ragnarok chasing him down, misses the undertow, and that'll be the end of that.
That was wild. I don't know what to say about that other than Rodham came out on top. More kills to them, I think.
Peter's going to walk through the mid lane here. Death Lotus, good sidestep, good patience there. Make sure that he doesn't get hit by anything, and he'll walk his way back to tower. Teleport into the top lane for Lil Saint, just to be able to catch that minion wave. And we can take maybe a short look at some of these items in inventory. Saint has his Gore Drinker, got a couple more items finished up. The Divine Sunderer, Death Lotus finishes his Ludens, Oath with the Kraken Slayer build. On the other side, not quite the item completions at the same time, but Peter finishes his Trinity Force. You have the Nashers going on to Usain.
Yeah, most first items coming through. I mean, you can see Magic Claps and Asylum. Oh my goodness. Okay, that shouldn't be a kill.
No, he doesn't have any cooldowns just yet, and now Usain's here. This might be a kill back the other way. Usain gets to slow with a needlework. Does he have this? The dodge away from the second needle. That third needle is what's going to be important, though. He lines it up. Big heal, though, from the Gore Drinker. Can't quite get the remount. They're able to take down the Kled. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, something happened to catch my hooks, and it looks terrible and wasn't great. The Heartbreaker from Scrams looks like it finished that one off. Not quite able to find the hook on the end of that one. And Oath finds out that those towers do 15 more damage and have been ramping up on minions for a bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, you saw it when they went for that dive, right? I mean, that was kind of what I was wanting to talk about, is the towers just... It's pretty comical just seeing them, because Oath basically just got one-tapped by like a 500, 400 something damage tower shot, and Altera took half their HP bar from one shot, I think like through Guardian.
Ooh, Death Lotus looking for it. Does he have the ult? He does now, fires it off. Big heal off of the smite, but it's not quite enough. Death Lotus finishes him off. In comes the charge from Kled. Death Lotus just trying to keep the leash onto the Rift Herald. Peter Griefer in. 300 health. It's secured by Little Saint. And he'll pick up the eye and the kill. Nice play by the Kled, able to get everybody in on time. And they'll get another kill and the second Herald.
Yep. It is a Morbius sweep on the top. Oh, it's maybe not a Morbius sweep. As soon
Magic
as I said
claps with
Morbius
the.
sweep,
That's the big issue, right?
yeah,
You can't
I
just
jinxed it.
you can't just go ahead and drop the #1 movie of all time in
Yeah,
casually in
it
conversation.
cannot incite Morbius. That is the biggest jinx of all time.
I really love. Well, I don't think I'll get to. Oh, maybe I will. It's Morbin time up in the top lane with the Rift Herald, but um, I love there was the Twitch channel. It was like Morbius
Yeah,
24/7.
Morbius
They
24/7.
let
Yeah.
the movie play through once, and then immediately, as soon as the credits started, it got banned. Which means that there was somebody from Twitch staff that was just watching it, waiting for the credits to come up. They're like,
It.
okay, they watched the movie once. It's time to go down. Like,
Well, they got through it several
oh,
times.
did they?
The movie. Yeah. No, we were. Some of the boys were doing a lot of Morbius watching that evening. It was pretty interesting stream. It started like 200 viewers, got up to like over 10,000. I know Lane reported it.
Oh,
Friggin' buzzkill. He's not a real morb head, but
it's probably part of his like sacred duty as Twitch staff, so we probably can't be
yeah.
too unkind to him.
Well,
But anyway, there's some things happening in this game. Oath is able to
oh, the
find one
tower.
kill. Good trade back by Magic Claps though. He's got 3 dashes left. Can he make something happen onto Altera? Dashes away from one, dashes away from a Glitter Lance, and Scrams is going to disengage with the Viego ult. Usain hanging around the mid lane. They might look for a push. Death Lotus, meanwhile, just exerting some pressure, going to be able to get this bottom lane tower with relative ease. And maybe an extra kill. Gets the stun down onto Asylum. Can he get out? Does he have... He's just holding on to the W, trying to turn it, and Death Lotus
Woo!
eventually finishes off. That was very close, but Death Lotus in the end with the Q.
Yep. Good looks. I mean, Asylum played it fairly well, holding the W for the Cinder ult, right? You could see as soon as Death Lotus channels it, that's what he was waiting for. But I don't know if his exhaust was up, but he might have felt like it was more worth saving that for an objective. But
Yeah, kind of unfortunate. Just now finishes up the Immortal Shield Bow. If he'd had that, I'm pretty sure that that's a Samira win on the way that he played that. But
yeah,
as it is still very close, Dragon's up. No one's particularly cared about Dragons this game. It is just a Cloud Dragon, but it'll give us a nice spicy soul to fight over. Looks like rawr is going to be the first team to go ahead and pay attention to the Dragon in the pit.
dragons, they're overrated. You don't need them.
Scrams might be looking to contest, or maybe they're just looking for some kills at the end of this one. The Dragon goes down. They're going to find Catch My Hooks, take him down. Now they have the re-engage off of the Nautilus hook if they need it. They'll grab a nice hook on the top side. On the bottom side, though, Deathload is taking a lot of damage. Peter Griefer is just running through everyone, trying to take down Altera. She can't quite get away. The shutdown finally comes through. Magic Claps trades out with Oath on the bottom side, and he'll have to escape. He's got one more dash of his Spirit Rush available to get away from Saint. The fight goes in favor of ROTM 4-2. They lose the Dragon in the process, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're RTM, right, you're not that worried about Soul Point as a win condition. Because rawr is just picking up their second one at 18 minutes. So when you're the team that's ahead in gold, you're basically looking at Dragon as just an opportunity to go kill the other guys, right? I mean, Cloud Drake, who cares?
Saint again drawing a lot of pressure to himself. That hook was one that landed
Whoa!
for sure. He's going in, flashing in on a Magic Claps. Does he have enough damage? He definitely does, but does he have the ability to stay on? He's going to dash out, get hooked back in again. Usain still looking for him a little bit, but then comes Peter Griefer. The rest of the squad not really able to do a whole lot. Altera trying to get into range, but I think that isn't exactly where she wants to be. The shutdown eventually goes to Usain. He's got 5 kills on the Gwen, starting to become a menace.
Yeah, I mean, that champion...
Oh.
I could see earlier in the chat where Magic Labs ping is 270 MS.
That's a couple.
A little bit more MS than maybe you're looking for. I like this. I needed this break to look at this game because there's just... I mean, you've watched more of this team than I have. Is this a low kill game?
This is this is actually a little above where they're normally playing at.
These
they're
teams
a
are
little more
scrapping.
they're a little more reserved usually, especially for gold teams. It's really funny. So there's 2 varieties of gold teams. One is they just are solo queue players, and you just watch a solo queue game, and in the end somebody wins. And then the other one is they have a coach. Usually it's a university team, and you can tell that they're a university team even if they don't have it. They have a
Hmm.
coach, and they're like, okay, don't fight ever. So you just watch them check off of objectives and trade stuff, and it looks like super clinical, but it's like you're watching SKT play, but with none
Yeah,
of
it
the
none of
aggression.
the little fundies, right? The
Yeah.
fundamentals. But
So
the macro moves are sometimes better than you'd think in games
yeah,
like this.
yeah. So like Oath and I casted. Gonna call them out though because they no longer exist. We were casting Philly B Amateur League, the last split that it existed. I don't know how we got talked into it, but every Saturday we'd go and we'd watch a really boring gold game. Um, it was just the worst. Like we were in agony the whole time. The final kill count would be like 7-4, and it's like, why are we here? Just to suffer? Like both teams are just like, I'm not. We're picking Seraphine. We're scaling. Okay, well, great, thanks.
Sure.
Um,
I don't know. It.
y-
I was just. It just feels like there's been. I mean,
yeah, this is
ROTM
a
alone has 19 kills in 19 minutes.
this is a solid action-packed game. I think part of that is just rawr flips through rosters notoriously in every league that they play in. Um, so who knows if this is a starting lineup or not? I don't think it is, judging by how many people we saw in and out and not get invited to the lobby that I didn't know. Um, and then our boys are TM on two backups right now with Oath and Altera. Luckily able to sub in. I think Matsuro is hanging around probably for games 2 and 3, but oh, they're just back in. I didn't see that transition.
We've begun. Um, yeah, Gwen just picked up a shutdown on Lil Saint. That character's scary, by the way. I
Yeah,
mean, their team isn't extremely weak to Gwen. They've got some pretty good champs at dealing with her, I think. But of the champs you would like to hand 500 gold to, Gwen is not high on the list. Otherwise, though, I mean, the Samira is still pretty far off from relevancy. Ari, fishing for Shadow Flame. RTM's still, I'd say, in a comfortable lead, but I just. So, Scrams is doing this Viego build that I saw Way, I think it was, I think it was Way, doing at MSI, and they're starting Baron.
they're
So, I'm
starting
not going to get
Baron.
long to talk about
I,
this.
I don't know that you're not going to, because it doesn't look like rawr have any idea about this. They're going to walk in now. There's 7,000 health left, so Usain definitely has the opportunity to jump in, and yeah, ROTM just going to
Yeah.
deleash it and walk away. They got spotted and not willing to go ahead and flip it over Baron just yet.
I like the look. Whoa. Peter Griefer is here.
Yeah, Peter Griefer has teleported in. They're just restarting Baron. Oath went all the way back to base. Death Lotus is hanging around on the side of the pit. This is kind of a scary moment for ROTM. Now in comes the teleport from Lil Saint. There's 8,000 health left. They get the charge into the back of the pit, but that's not quite where they want to go. And now we get some gate gameplay. They get the knockback onto Magic Claps. They pull him out. Ari's the first victim of the fight. Usain taken pretty low, but they get the knock up onto Oath. Everybody is just into melee range of each other, and I can't tell what's happening other than Olaf looks like he's winning. Big ult from the Samira. Tries to turn it around. Lil Saint remounts, getting some autos down,
Viego.
gets the joust back through. They can't quite finish it off, and a second ult from the Samira finishes off the fight. Death Lotus trying to kite his way around. It's 4 for 3 on the trade thus far. Peter Griefer very low in this, regenning off of the red buff. I don't think that he's going to die, even though we're focusing on him. And what a mess of a fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think rawr kind of got what they wanted there, right? Which is just a big old clumped up mess, right? Works best for the Gwen. It works best for the Olaf. Oh, we're getting pause real sharked.
We do be pausing some sharks here. Somebody messaged me. Let's see. Oh no, that's okay. Cool.
The Gwen gets a lot of damage off. I mean, they killed Magic Claps instantly, pretty
Yeah,
much.
he was gone. I don't think that he did a whole lot in that fight other than hit one
Yeah.
R.
but Gwen really likes those kinds of close-up scrappy fights. Olaf, I'm pretty sure, was in his ultimate for like 15 seconds straight or something like that, and Samira got 2 Inferno triggers off. Um, I don't think it could get much better for you than that if you're rawr. A fight that plays out like that. Gotta feel pretty good for them.
Yeah, we have
4 for
resumed
3.
once again and are on our resume pause. So
Yeah, this Viego build, Deadman's plate second. Um, I don't know what I'm missing on this one. I'll be honest. To my mind, Deadman's plate is not a particularly insane tank item. Viego is not a champion that particularly needs the movement speed. And similar to the game that I was watching of MSI, I don't feel like you particularly need the armor this badly. I'm just confused. I just wish, you know, someone would tell me what's up with the Dead Man's second Viego. This is exactly what Wade did.
yeah, it's cheap is about as much as I have, and a lot of times pro players like their cheap item spikes, but yeah,
Well,
I don't
yeah,
really see it either.
I think. I mean, I just don't see why you wouldn't look for. I mean, if you're looking for some kind of team fight ability or survivability, I mean, for cheap, Guardian Angel. I mean, Death's Dance is not particularly expensive. Maw is good in this game. Ooh, Peter Griefer
Yeah, Peter walking
gets
straight
through.
over some wards. In comes the charge. Just going to hit the Nautilus to start out with. But fight going to break out. Lilsain is the only person in melee range right now, and he's able to take down the Nautilus to start everything out. In goes Scrams into the backline, but they're getting it traded back. Altera falls. Oath just trying to kite his way to the top side, but he is going to go. Oh, gets the flash over the wall. Can he actually live? Nope. He
Oh,
gets hit by the undertow for the double kill for Peter Griefer, and that fight goes very well for rawr.
yeah. It looked like there was a little bit of. Death Lotus is an
Yeah, Death
Olaf moment.
Lotus. Yeah, I don't think he can really get away. Gets a little shield and the undertow for the kill. Nicely played by Peter Griefer. And the third dragon going over to rawr. So now on Hextech Soul Point, you weren't super worried about that dragon win con, but now that the 2 fights in a row have gone badly, that puts rawr right on track for what they're looking for here in about 29 minutes soul and starting to really turn the gold count around.
Yeah. So the kind of the other side of it, right? You don't necessarily need to be worried about the dragon win con. You do need to be worried about going to dragon and getting killed like 4 for 1, and then giving up dragon and not getting anything else, right? Because then you are really behind on the dragon win con, which now does feel like it's looming because we weren't able to expand our gold lead far enough, right? Um, Realistically, I mean, I get why they fought that. I probably would have fought that. I don't think that the look was bad. There's probably some things that could have been executed better, but I think this is always the con of playing for the early gold advantage instead of the early dragon, is that if you then go on to make mistakes around the third and fourth dragons, then your early gold lead doesn't really mean that much, especially if those mistakes involve giving over lots of shutdowns and lots of kills, because then you don't even have any gold lead. Then you're just losing. Which I wouldn't go as far as to say that yet, but now we've got Olaf on 3 items, Gwen on 3 items, very scary characters. Samira scaling up. I'm honestly, it feels like the Gwen and the Olaf are the 2 scariest characters in this game for rawr. And RTM has they have a Syndra who I don't think really kills Gwen off that strongly. Kaisa's still looking for her 3rd and 4th item spikes. I think the 80 Kaisa kind of wants. Oh,
Oh, a lot of damage on a magic claps. Not quite able to find the solo kill though, but will send magic back to base, you would assume.
send him closer to base.
Yeah.
It's a nice heat check. Just let him know, hey, I do a lot of damage. Don't mess with me.
Hey, I'm not sure how much this is on the new durability patch. Let me find out. All right.
Hey, I would have killed you last patch. Yeah. Um, all in all, though, I mean, it feels bad to be down 0-3 in Drakes, but you're still up a bit of gold. The game's pretty much even, I think, at this point, and it's really going to come down to how teams are executing their picks and their team fights.
Yeah, it
Peter
looks like the
Griefer.
Olaf is completely back in the game. We were seeing Saint kind of brazenly taking trades earlier, really getting to push whatever he wanted, and now Peter's turned that one back around. He's doing the Olaf thing and hitting some minions pretty good.
Yeah, in an ironic twist, for Olaf as a character, when I was talking about how Olaf's early skirmishes are worse, and I think it makes him a worse jungler, I do think the character scale is quite a bit better now. Um, 'Cause previously it felt like you hit Gore Drinker and then, unless you were Astro Fed, it was a downhill climb from there. But he's really coming into his own at these 3 items, and I don't really feel like he gets worse going in. One thing I was thinking about, I know I'm far removed from it by 3 or 4 minutes, but I felt like in that last dragon fight, I think there was a little miscommunication on the Lulu ult actually, because it looked like Lil Saint was a little too far in. Lulu, I see Lulu walking towards him, basically just straight on top of him, doesn't get the ult off, eventually gets it off on Oath, but then has walked into range of Olaf. My point is, I think there was just some misexecution on some abilities in that last team fight, and I think if you're RTM, you think, okay, it's fine. We're still in a good spot in gold. We just clean up the way we play a little bit, and we can make a good contest here this next Drake.
Yeah, they shove in the mid wave. This is the one just prior to the dragon spawn, and immediately the charm lands onto Lil Saint, not quite able to find the bear trap back. Everyone is in the area for both teams, so we're
Yeah,
gonna full 5v5 over this one. The ward gonna be
our team
spotted
has
by
the control
RTM.
right now. They are a little scared.
Yeah, they're hanging
This
around on this
Nautilus.
bottom side, really hugging this one. In comes rawr to go ahead and clean up some of the vision again and head back toward that top side. This is kind of the reverse of where you'd expect these two teams to really be contesting from. And, maybe just the different sides of this fight is what's going to matter. Dragon gets pulled out. This dragon does do chain damage, so you kind of have to be a little careful about that one. But now getting deleashed back into the pit, and we're chilling again. We're going to try it again. Little poke going back and forth, but nothing really sticking to anybody. Saint is probably the lowest person right now, and he's still feeling pretty comfortable. More axes over the wall, though. Hook gonna land. That one just onto Saint. Gonna get the joust back away. They're trying to get the flash in. They eliminate Altera to start that one off, and again, it looks like a good fight for rawr as they immediately clean up 3, and ROTM can't find their way in to get any of the damage down.
Yeah, I mean, that is a textbook Morbius sweep, I think. As soon as the Nautilus hook lands, the rest of rawr just comes flying in. When the Olaf and Gwen are just running at you. I mean, it is really hard for these carries of RTM, like I've already said. It's really hard for them to deal with these big, meaty frontline bruisers that are just charging them. I mean, Gwen is immune. Tech W. And Olaf doesn't look like he's dying to anyone anytime soon. We're really going to need to see some kind of mistake, I think, from rawr in these team fights for either of these characters to die to the likes of Oath or Death Lotus.
Yeah, now they're wearing like a cyan buff plus a purple buff, so it'll be very difficult to contest them here for the next couple of minutes at least.
And Hextech Soul is... that one is strong, is what I will say. I mean, all souls are strong. I think when you look them up, the difference in win rates between them is within a range of like 1 or 2% across all of them. But feels bad to play against Hextech Soul. You're getting slowed for no reason. It's really annoying.
It's like when Caitlyn would rush Stormrazor. It's just
Yeah,
the worst.
when all
Hated that.
ADCs would do the Stormrazor. Back in my day, we didn't have no mythic item. And Stormrazor was a guaranteed critical strike.
I don't even want to talk about back in my day. All right.
Yeah, I mean that is not back in my day. one of the days. And this is the other thing when I'm thinking about this Dead Man's Viego, right? I feel like he just has to be able to scrap a little bit more. He has to do a little bit more than just be fast and be an engager, right? I mean, we have to be able to kill the Gwen, the Olaf.
Yeah, can't even really make too much of a dent there on the Nautilus with the full combo.
Yeah, it just. Oh.
We're charging. We're charging to top lane,
We're
actually, to stop
charging
the
away.
Ahri. Yeah, looking for any play onto Ahri, and the rest of the squad just trying to hold on here in mid lane as Magic Lapse continues to walk in. A couple more autos, has to dash back. A lot of damage being traded, though, just with the Hex Soul. Root coming down. Saint's still looking for it. Not quite able to find the bear trap now. Has to flash away from the Ahri.
I don't know if has is the right word,
Yeah,
but
he does.
he does. And I mean that's about RTM's
Ooh.
only.
Yeah, that was definitely
Oh,
a
no.
hook that landed for sure, and didn't hit the inhibitor. I don't know what you're talking about, Riot. Although the spectator client also just doesn't help out with that sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a hook that counts, and they'll get another couple of kills off of that one as they'll finish off Altera and Death Lotus and the Nexus Towers as well. Scram's going in, just trying to make anything happen that he can, and there's nothing available right now for a return to the Middlesticks. Oath standing his last defense, and it really isn't going to happen. The Nexus falls, and rawr takes a 1-0 lead going into game number 2.
Yes, they do. It's a really nice bounce back from the top side of rawr, right? They were just getting worked so hard early game by Lil Saint and Scrams, but the Gwen, the Olaf, they capitalized on a few mistakes and some team fights, I think, and scale up quite nicely. It's a nice team composition from rawr. I think pretty difficult for Rodham to deal with, but all in all, I mean, RTM I think was in a pretty commanding position in the first part of the game. So maybe you just look at some of the mistakes, you look at maybe the draft a bit. I don't think that their draft is honestly bad. But you know, maybe tweak a couple things here and there and going into game 2 trying to stay alive in the series. So.
Yeah, so we'll be right back with game number 2.
They just Scrams dropped the draft link before anyone from the other team was even here.
Yeah.
The alpha.
Shoutouts to Doki FTW, Jinjas1, Groaning Loki, and Kawaii Illusion for the follows. Thank you. Gotta do the Twitch thing.
Yeah.
You said my name.
Ooh.
I like that they've all joined and he hasn't reposted the links. He's
Yeah.
keeping the draft links secret from them. I respect that a lot, actually.
Yeah. I wonder if I don't know. I'm just waiting for someone to bring that up.
Who doing draft?
You guys, right? Thanks. I respect that as well.
He posted it already. What a Chad move. Yeah.
I won't get involved.
Where I need to get their heads in the game, you know? I need to get in here before he posts the link.
Yeah, I mean, early bird gets the draft link. It's looking like a loss of bands for rawr from me. Good. Let's just say our Section 8. I've seen the pings. I've seen the MS pings. I believe him. You know he speaks the truth.
Hey, I got Xfinity too, you know? We out here.
My ping is great right now. Because the only time it ever gets suspicious, I have no confirmation on it, but I suspect it was roommate activity.
Oh.
Don't have that much of that right now, so.
This Champ Select music is the MSI 2022 Champ Select music. This song's called Sports Trap. That's very classic Champion Select music name.
Sports Trap.
Sports Trap. That's what they catch.
I had to unmute the stream to pick it up.
Well, now it's over. We're going on to Dark.
Sorry.
This next one's Dark Motivation. The first one was I'm in the Zone. These names all just always crack me up. Like there's one that's called Battle of the Gods, and it's just like the most chill music you've ever heard. It's like, okay, yeah.
When are you gonna play the Morbius theme song?
I'm pretty sure that's unfortunately under copyright. But
So what? We could take a copyright strike in the name of Morbin Out on stream.
Lane would have to report us though, so you know.
Lane, look, I wanted to talk about that more. Lane, I would argue that his sacred duty as a Morb head exceeds his sacred duty as a Twitch staffer to report Morbius 24/7. Because frankly, you know,
If you can't morb out, then what even are we doing here, right?
yeah, I mean, what's the point? What's the point of Twitch.tv without Morbius? For one day, it felt like everything was perfect. Oh, draft has started, by the way.
All right. Well, we're back. Game number 2. rawr leads 1-0 on match point, but we have recalled the myth, the legend, Matsuro. 2+3. So all of a sudden Rodham gets bans, which might make a big difference here, as now the Nautilus is gone. Still staying with these K champions though for rawr, Katarina and Kale.
Yep, Nautilus was the problem. And if you're rawr right, you don't really feel compelled to change anything up. I think that if you're rawr, you can make an argument that if you just cleaned up your early game, you were good to go with the way the team comps worked out. It's Rodham that has to find a bit of a better answer somehow in draft. And I think the Gwen ban is a great place to start.
Yep, next one, I feel like should be Olaf, but we'll see what they want to do.
I think you could maybe kick him back to second rotation. Like I was saying, frankly, I don't think that champ's that good in the jungle. And rawr probably won't want to first round blind pick him. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, sure. I mean, clearly, I would think that those are two of the most problematic champions from the last game, the Gwen and the Olaf. And taking away the Nautilus, forcing the guy named Catch My Hooks, right? Isn't that his
Yeah.
champ? Yeah, maybe forcing him to play a different hook champion. Not a bad ban phase. Warren Blue won. Oh, I lost. Oh my. Whoa.
We're calling the horn.
That is a pivot and a half. I remember a few seconds ago when I said rawr doesn't really have to change very much. They've changed. RTM with the Thresh blind and an Ornn counterpick probably. Olaf and Gwen are banned, so there's two of the most obvious ones in my mind. Might have to reach a little bit for it.
I feel like the Kled isn't terrible into that matchup, but maybe I'm wrong. Alright, the Diana, that's a good flex option between Scrams and Death Lotus. Save your top lane maybe for third.
Yeah, because I would assume if rawr is just brazenly selecting Ornn on blue 1, that it's not locked fully to top lane. Like in my mind, they could flex it to mid or jungle. Probably mid more than jungle, but I don't know. Maybe waiting to see more of the draft before we counterpick it is probably good. Diego locked in. That feels great, I think. Diego, Diana, perfectly fine matchup.
Yeah, so what do you want to see from rawr here? Do you want the support to counter the Thresh?
Senna.
The man wants a Senna. That's pretty close.
Good enough. That champ's also quite good this patch.
Yeah, Xylene, for some reason, is very good. I mean, I guess if you're more durable, then bringing somebody back to life who's also still more durable seems pretty good.
It's more of some of the champions that are strong on durability patch are kind that you like to keep alive. Ooh, Yasuo Diana.
So this is interesting because I'm pretty sure the Yasuo player is Oath, who was playing bottom lane last game. So that might be the Yasuo Thresh bottom lane. Could still be mid because Yasuo Diana just is pretty easy to pilot. But I don't think I've seen Death Lotus play it. I think I've seen Saint play it though. Maybe it's top lane. There's a lot of options for this. Like, we can
Yeah.
throw these champions pretty much anywhere. It feels pretty okay. They're just good together.
Traditionally, it's always Diana, jungle, Yasuo, mid. We could see something interesting like... Wait, where'd that band go on my screen? Okay, on my draft loading, that band, the Xayah just grayed out. Okay.
Huh.
We could have like Diana mid or Yasuo ADC. Interesting things. And then the Zillion on the other side for rawr. Like I was saying, when hyper carries and late scalers are good, Zillion gives something like a Bane, or even in this case, like, I mean, Diego's not necessarily a hyper scaler, late scaler, but an extra life for some of these characters means a lot in team fights, especially when you're playing against Diana Yasuo, who are prone to one-shotting you, right?
Yeah, and the Twitch ban is against Duvranga, who isn't here. So is the Xayah. So I'm a little curious about those. Especially because I'm pretty sure Oath is going to be the Yasuo. But we'll see. I guess there's still a lot of opportunities to move people around.
Oh, it's Nirvana. Oh, I double lost. Oh my goodness. No way. Wukong remains up through all 10 bans. And he's locked in on R4. This is still a flex pick.
Yeah.
It has a winning matchup into Ornn. I believe it has a fine matchup into Viego. And you already have a Diana Yasuo comp. So now you're just adding to the bounce house. Feels so good, I think. Horrid. Oh my god, both teams are just pulling out all the stops. What
So
the heck is going on?
This has to be Vayne, right? Vayne or Kog'Maw?
Okay.
It has to be a late skip, like somebody hyper carry, right?
I don't know, man. Something. It has to be a hyper carry for sure. I mean, rawr is a little lower on the side of damage with Zillion Card walked in and Ornn. Oh my! I lost. There's no. Whoa! I need to sit down. I need to sit back in my chair. Whoa! We're doing it all. And how do you respond to this if you're RTM?
I don't know. I don't even know what we're looking for at this point. It's Gragas. Gragas is how you respond.
Something. A champion, and it's Gragas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every single person can knock up for Yasuo, so that's pretty cool.
Every single person on rawr will never die, though.
Yeah. You can knock people out of the Kindred ult, but they still have the Zillion and the Taric ults, so...
I mean,
I don't know. What a mess.
This is an absurdly based
The
draft
absolute
phase.
state of League of Legends.
This is Kindred ADC, right? There's two lines here. It could be the Kindred mid Zillion Tark bot angle, but I'm assuming it's Kindred ADC. Holy moly! I mean, heck it.
Mask off.
They could just run. That guy. They could just run Viego bot here. They're playing into Yasuo Thresh. You know, you could just have Kindred jungle here.
I don't know. This is a draft that
how
is
did
happening.
I liked the draft in the first game where it was like, oh, we got the Olaf flex on R1. You know, I was like, that's interesting. And they just took it to a 10 here in game 2. I wish I knew enough about this team to know if they always do stuff like this. This is it's an extremely wild team comp. So in favor of Rodham,
Yeah.
Right? You have the bounce house, previously discussed. All characters are knockups, knockbacks, whatever. If you get a good team fight, you're going to look pretty. The kind of issue is with this rawr composition, where you have Taric, Kindred, Zillion, you're basically forced to kill everyone in one blow, or else you might not kill anyone, right? And the Zillion, because if you aren't able to one-shot Taric, Kindred before they're able to get their ults out, or when their ults aren't out, is probably a better way to phrase it, or Zillion, then people are just going to start reviving and start being invulnerable, and you're going to have a mess on your hands because your DPS is not that insane. I mean, you have no range DPS on the side of Rodham. You only have this all-in melee burst, right? And rawr has Ornn, who I believe has found himself a pretty favorable matchup, right, into Gragas. I'm not sure how Saint's going to build the Gragas, but assume it's going to be bruised, like off tank at the squishiest. It'll probably be more of a tanky Gragas. So. Interesting matchup, but other than that, we have Viego Wukong, right? Really, I mean, if like I said earlier, if you watched MSI, you probably threw up a little when you saw these champions locked in as the jungle matchup this game. Just saw him so much. Viego Wukong, Zillion Yasuo is wild. Oath has, they're trading, right?
I don't know.
They're trading, right? Oath has selected Diana.
That could be. Like, I could see Death Lotus being a Yasuo player, and I can see Oath being a Diana player. I just haven't personally seen them on those champions, and I've seen the reverse.
This feels like one of those moments in draft where you're like, what if we did a little trolling, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What if we were a little goofy? Most leagues you don't have to lock in until...
Oh, look, yeah, we're trading up on the top side. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I like this one. This is good. Okay. I don't know if they have like the 20-second time limit. I would assume so. This is kind of what I expected. Either that or Gragas and Wukong flipped. Because I don't think that particularly matters. But this is how I would expect these players to play.
This is what makes the most sense.
Yeah. And
this
the Gragas
like
does
all the
fine
characters
into the
are
Ornn.
playing their best role. Yeah. Gragas is fine in this matchup.
I could just see if you like playing AP Gragas, you take him jungle and you use the Wukong into the Ornn. I don't think that's terrible, but yeah, this makes the most sense. Now we got 3 minutes to think about this, so.
I'm thinking about it for sure. I'm thinking this game is gonna go one of two ways. Well, obviously, right? 5-head, but I would be shocked if this was not shocked, but I'd be moderately surprised if this was a very close game in either direction. It feels like the kind of game where one team is going to have a lot of fun doing what their composition does, the other team is not. It'll, at the end of the day, just come down to how comfortable these two teams are at executing their different. I think to RTM's credit with their team, I do think they're a bit countered by rawr's draft. They do have ease of execution on their side. I mean, it's what people say, the big red button comp, right? Whereas rawr, things like Kindred ult, Taric ult, Zillion ult, the concept is simple, but it's easy to misuse these ultimates. And they're also, Kindred and Taric especially, aren't short cooldowns. So if you are misusing anything, you are probably going to feel the repercussions of it. I mean, Kindred ult is a 180-second cooldown at rank 1. 3 minutes.
That's a couple.
Yeah,
It's half a teleport.
it is extremely long, and it's extremely powerful, right? So it makes sense. But when you're playing against the likes of Yasuo, Diana, or Viego, or I mean Wukong, Yasuo, I don't know any of these champs. You know, maybe you use your ult and you survive once, but their ults are going to be up 2 more times before yours is up again. Is what it feels like. Should be interesting. I think this bot lane matchup's gonna be fun and funny. I think honestly the rest of the lanes look like they might be a bit sleeper, but Kindred Taric versus Yasuo Thresh feels very much like the kind of thing you see when you're playing solo queue at 2 in the morning. So
Yeah, well, 15 seconds to go. We'll see how it all plays out. rawr is on match point. They win. They'll advance to 4-3, which puts them in a very good position to take home that coveted 4th spot for the playoffs. ROTM kind of needs this one. We'll see if they can reach back and find it. Here, down 1-0, up against the ropes. They've pulled out a very funny comp. We'll see if they hit their funny buttons.
hopefully,
Hopefully, otherwise this will be a pretty boring game.
yeah, they just didn't press their buttons. That would be I'm not sure what their plan would be.
Ooh, already kind of interesting. The phase rush on the Gragas and unsealed spellbook Ornn are both kind of interesting. Do you have any feelings about those in particular?
Oh, sorry, I blanked for a second. Um, about any the spellbook Ornn or something else.
The spellbook Ornn or phase rush rather than like a grasp on Gragas.
Spellbook Ornn is fine. I feel like Ornns usually run it into matchups where they're not going to be able to get good value out of Grasp, which I don't know enough about the Ornn Gragas matchup to say whether that's correct in this one or not. But it's fine.
All right, invade coming in. They're gonna see catch my hooks. Does Matsuro want to go for it? He's traditionally very aggressive and willing to pull the trigger, but looks like enough distance there for the Taric. So
Yeah, just a little walk in. Peter Griefer is holding it down. Thank you, directed camera. This is astounding.
Usain gonna grab the ward early. He also
More for
spent
him.
extra money on the extra chroma, so that's pretty neat.
Is that? Oh, well, that's the Pentakill Viego skin, yeah.
No, this is EDG with the like extra chroma.
You sure? Oh wait, yeah, you would be sure. I wasn't paying attention in loading screen.
I saw
Good looking.
the EDG in loading screen. I wouldn't have been able to identify this skin otherwise, but
Yeah, it looks very similar to some of the Pentakill chromas.
even the sound effects are
Anyways.
kind of similar because they went with like a metallic sound. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I am actually a huge fan of EDG Viego. I played it, and it feels a hook
Yeah, the
and a stun.
hook immediately into the stun though from Catch My Hooks means that Matsuro and Oath can't get a whole lot done.
Yeah.
Oath opted for the cleanse on Viego. Or on Yasuo. A lot of O champs at the end.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I mean, really, you've got a good chunk of stuns, I guess, on the side of rawr. I'm not sure how many of them are things that you won't be able to, in theory, wind wall or dodge or not need to run cleanse for just in general.
Magic Claps is going with the Sugar Rush Zillion. I really like the skin in game. It's pretty neat. But in his splash art, his lips are really disgusting. I don't have any reasoning for that. They just are.
I own that skin. I played it several times, and I've no idea what you're talking about. I'll be honest. I've never
Okay,
noticed anything.
pull it up. Get your phone.
Okay.
Pull up this splash art. It is. How do I ban this person?
Hey, we just got an opportunity to get viewers, followers, and primes.
Ooh, unlucky. I banned them on accident. Anyway, there's stuff happening. Ignite gonna come down. Knock up. Asylum. The last auto from Thresh isn't quite enough. The little shitty heal from Catch My Hooks is enough to keep him alive.
The little shitty heel.
Oh, how much do you think Tarek passive or Tarek W heals? Oath is
Oh,
going for it.
Oath.
He's really feeling it. The little shield is enough. Matsuro's stuck underneath the
Oh.
tower. They'll get the trade back. The extra tower shot will be enough to finish him off. It's a disaster down in the bottom lane, but they get the minion wave shoved in. The wave does go to Usain, so they're gonna accelerate the Viego at the cost of the Kindred eating a lot of extra less
Yeah.
gold. And
That
it might not
feels
matter
like the
for items.
situation where you might have wanted to use the cleanse. Right?
Yeah.
We went in, we got Targs done, and then they hit level 3 kind of in that duration. But either way,
I didn't see.
it's
Did
not that bad
Asylum
for
have
bot
either
lane.
of them marked as well? Yeah, he got a mark out of that. Scrams is up in top lane. They're getting a lot of damage down onto Peter Griefer. I'm going to have to manually observe this because I trolled. Okay, there we go. Yeah, not a whole lot happening up there. Oh, immediately they're going to pull in. They get the hook onto Asylum. Immediately just going back for the trades. Good flay from Matsuro. They have Viego is still down there, so this is just a 3-man squad right now for rawr, clearing out this ward.
Yep, a lot of attention going down. I mean, Viego hasn't reset. He pretty much did Scuttle Crab and came back.
Yeah, now
I
it's
don't know.
still just hanging out down there. Finally recalled from the bush, but ate a lot of that minion wave. He's going to go back and buy a recurve bow, which...
I would say, all in all, that dive wasn't horrendous for the state of bottom lane. So you got all summoners out from both sides, and you denied away from Usain, and one of the kills went to Tarek. Ooh. They're scaring me, man.
Yeah. What do you go recurve for on on Viego?
That's
Wit's
a Bork.
End? It's a Bork? Okay.
It's a Bork, first item. It's pretty common for a lot of Viegos right now. They just rush Bork, then pick up a Mythic later. Usually like a Trinity Force or Divine Sunderer.
If you're an ARAM, by the way, go Immortal Shield Bow first, as a sidebar. Sunder just sucks in ARAM. Anyway.
Wait, what is it? It's not like specifically ARAM nerfed, right?
No, it isn't, but just because of the way that you're constantly fighting and team fighting, you get way more value out of any other mythic than Sunderer, basically. Unless you're into a team of full tanks, but, sometimes it is like that.
I think on ARAM I usually just go like a funny full crit build.
Usain
Nice hook.
gonna get hooked by Matsuro again. They've got Scrams in the area, Cleanse used by Oath. They have the teleport coming in as well. I don't know if that's Saint or Lotus. I haven't been able to look just yet. They're able to take down the Viego. Death Lotus is teleported in, trying to make his presence out. Oath is still just dancing around. In comes the Moonfall, and they'll pick up 2.
Wow. Yeah, it's really nicely kited by Oath. I mean, he's able to just keep baiting it out. Stays alive, gets kills. It's a really nice TP from Death Lotus. Yeah, I mean, I have not much to say. Great play from RTM.
Yeah, really good play by RTM. Really good job by Oath to stay alive through all of that. And they took advantage of having the level 6 on the Diana immediately before getting level 6s for anybody in that bottom lane for rawr. It's just a well-timed play. I also really liked we got to see the funny interaction in top lane where Saint just hits all of his abilities and then just walks away from the trade because of phase rush. This might not be walked away from, though. Gets the cask back out. Usain in the area. A lot of flashes exchanged.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry, that was fun. I watched that and I thought, yep, there we go. We've got Lucidity Boots into tier Still, so phase rush is usually what Gragas runs when he runs to go AP, right? Or if you're into a really tough matchup as tank Gragas, then you run phase rush because it lets you get in short trades, or when people look on you aggressively, you can just phase rush your way out of there. But we haven't really committed to either tank or AP yet.
Yeah,
I would think
it's
he wants AP if he's going it in the Ornn matchup. But maybe it's just a comfort rune for him on Gragas.
I think it's fun into the Ornn matchup specifically, just because Ornn can't, unless he gets a really well-timed Bellows Breath, his W to negate your trade, you just kind of get to do your whole combo on him for free, which has the percent max health on your bop. You throw the barrel underneath him, and then you just EW in, and then you just walk away, and Ornn can't do anything about it and can't trade back usually. Really frustrating matchup to
Yeah,
play as Ornn.
yeah. I mean that's how phase rush Gragas usually gets around, just being quite frustrating. Champs Gragas is one of the hardest, not the hardest, but he's a really hard scaler, right? This champion actually performs insanely well at like 3, 4 items, or even 1 or 2. His early game is just safe, you know.
Looks like they're feeling
So,
the pressure here. Oh, Scrams, did he get spotted? He's got the knockups with the Cyclone. Not quite able to hit it just in time. Oh, Oath waits for the Flay, actually, off of Matsuro to go ahead and hit that. Scrams just trying to
oh,
get out. That tower shot did so much damage. And Asylum and Catch My Hooks able to survive at level 5. And now in comes Death Lotus to try to make sure that they can't. Level 6 still not there for Asylum, and he'll be the first one to fall. Matsuro dies to the
oh
tower,
no.
and there's the
Okay.
ultimate, not quite in time, the double kill for Oath on the dive in the bottom lane.
So, something interesting is Ornn has received the Rift Herald. Sorry, uh, while all that was going on,
Yeah,
but it's a
Ornn
really great
still...
play.
Sorry,
You can go on.
I was going to just keep flaming him because he's got 0 vision score and 2 wards in inventory. But so does Oath, so, we're doing it.
Yeah, they're gaming. That's for sure. I mean, Oath is huge now, right?
Yeah.
This is what you want, right? When you look at Tark, Zillion, Kindred. So when we talk about the hypothetical, oh, they they won't die and then they'll out DPS you with Kindred, right? These champs have to scale. They don't just do that naturally in the early game, right? So I think that when you have this much CC and this much playmaking, that obviously the right move is to get aggressive like RTM is. Just constantly bring Death Lotus and Scrams down for ults and plays, looking for dives, which, like we talked about, is with the increased tower damage. I just think is notoriously, or not notoriously, but it's just way more difficult this patch than people are used to. So I like that they keep getting the looks,
What is happening up here?
getting. I love top lane. It's a funny lane sometimes.
Yeah, Oath is just going for this tower, really ignoring Asylum. Oh, hook not quite there for Matsuro. They'll take that tower down, and they really haven't let Asylum farm. He's on 48 right now, which feels a little bit bad. Scrams has worked his way into top lane, trying to be useful for Saint here, with Peter Griefer and Usain still hanging around. Cloud Dragon up in 31 is being pinged by Matsuro. Maybe a reset here from Scrams to head down. But look at the vision already for ROTM into the red side jungle of rawr.
Yeah, they've got a really great setup there. Bot side is strong. I mean, Oath has his Kraken Slayer, which I am intrigued by. So you always see Yasuo's go shield bow, but maybe it's the durability patch and we don't need any of those shield bows anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I would trust Oath on my Yasuo builds. Um, in
I know
general,
it's not bad.
sometimes you see a gold player building the item and you're like, "Oh, why are they doing that? That's not right." But in general, I would trust that person with that specific champion. Um, so I'm assuming it's good. I can at least spin
Yeah,
it as good in this case.
I don't. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And I think it does help them, right? I mean, you've got this Ornn and you have no ranged, you don't really have a DPS carry. You're going to need a little bit extra to cut through this guy.
Good
Peter
little
Griefer wants the smoke,
yeah, good
and
little
he's gonna
clone
get
there
it.
from Scrams, but already Magiclaps and Usain are here. They get the knock-up. Scrams taken pretty low, and the last bomb for Magiclaps will be able to finish him off. They'll use the Lantern to try to evacuate Little Saint, but it's just the one kill, it looks like, for rawr, and now they'll continue pressuring into top lane.
Yeah, they could. I don't think they can really threaten a dive onto Gragas. They look like they want to. They've got their ults.
Yeah, Hook gonna land onto Usain. He doesn't have his ult to really get away. They have the Terrac ult, but it's not quite in time. Traded 1-for-1. Now Saint trying to kite his way back out. Now the turret finally picks up Magiclaps. He's able to navigate that correctly. Saint still relatively healthy, walking back into tower range. They'll get the teleport in from Death Lotus to maybe try to turn this one around. He's going to land on top of double bombs, though, and that means that he can't really immediately engage. Saint not quite able to find that flash E, and Peter Griefer going to take him down. Oath and Scrams are here now, though. They're still continuing onward. Where's the big knockup coming from? There's the Moonfall. Oath with the Tornado. They'll just take the one kill onto the ore, and a lot of damage from these bombs from Magiclaps.
Yeah, it was a nice stun from Magiclap. For me, it was Catch My Hooks, it probably was, who stuns Oath when the Diana ult's coming out. So cuts down the follow-up, probably saves a life. I think in that dive, well, I know in that dive, the Zilean ult did not really connect on the intended target. So I saw Viego taking tower while Tarkle is channeling. And then Zilean ult comes down on Taric, and then some blue missing things appear on the map as Viego dies under tower. But I think it's a net positive for rawr, but they're still looking down 3k gold here, 15 minutes. Not horrendous. Honestly, it feels similar to where they were last game.
Mm-hmm.
But I do worry that their team comp isn't going to be quite as easy to just pull up and steamroll with.
Ooh, Matsuro has to flash away from a little aggression there from rawr. They're still buzzing around, trying to find some picks. This will be a nice mark if Asylum and the crew are able to secure the crab. Yep, there it is. How many marks
How many
is
marks
Asylum
is that?
on? That's 2. Okay.
Oh, 2. Oh.
Getting there.
That's 2 more than 0.
Yeah.
Kindred as an AD carry, in my opinion. So when you're playing Kindred jungle, you usually wind up getting 4 marks at some point, just from scuttle crabs or something, because it's difficult for the enemy team to contest them all unless they perfectly understand your mark system. Kindred in lane doesn't really have this benefit where, especially if you're losing lane, then you're really not getting any marks naturally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the champion's range, I mean, all of Kindred's abilities go with their marks, right? But it's a very short range character prior to 4 marks, and I think Asylum's going to be looking for some way to get to that 4 mark limit. Anything along that makes the character better and better, but I don't know if it's really playable into this Wombo combo without the minimum range increase of 4 marks. 75 extra.
Yeah, Peter Griefer going to be left alone with his top tower, so he'll cash that one out and continue to be a very strong boy.
Yep. And just noticed it is the Everfrost coming out for the Saint, so I like it.
How do you feel about Leandries on the Zilean?
It's good.
Yeah?
Good. I think that you have options here. You could say maybe Everfrost. Oh, nice.
Oh, they blocked
Nice
it.
for rawr.
Yeah, that's actually really neat. Matsuro going to get the hook. They're immediately onto Magiclaps. He has to burn his ult. In comes the Ornhorn, gets a big knockup. The Gragas ult not doing a whole lot more than just disengaging for Saint. They still have a lot of go buttons, though. Matsuro lands the hook. Oath is just trying to stack up, gets knock up 2 knockups, just not quite able to pull the trigger on that one. Now in walks Peter Griefer. The Ornn is so strong right now. In comes the Terracult. They're trying to turn the fight back around. The Dragon goes the way of rawr in the midst of all of this, but the health bars do not as ROTM wipes them off the map. It's a double kill for Death Lotus, and they'll roll their way through mid.
Yeah, it's a really nice fight. The Dragon gets a bit flipped because Oath is hitting it for Q stacks the whole time, right? But either way, I think if you're RTM, you feel perfectly comfortable getting that. Tarek points out Kindred ult is still available. Without rewatching, I'm going to assume that she just got ISO'd out by a knockup and one shot before it came down. Oh.
Yeah, kind of like that, right there. That was a good demonstration, I think. It's either that or you're in a situation where if you use it, you're healing like 4 people on ROTM and 0 on your team, and it's just not... That's not what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely situations like that where you just don't want to use it. They're sticking around for this blue buff. It still almost gets stolen away by Usain, but he doesn't get it. Scrams does.
Yeah. And this Bork purchase for Viego, I don't know how big of a fan I am of rushing at this game, because it's maybe the most damage on a first item Viego can get, aside from maybe Kraken Slayer into certain teams. But it leaves you really squishy against this team that's trying to just one combo you, right? Sure, you have ultimates to help you out with that, but there's only so much life saving that can be done, right?
Yeah, Usain and Catch My Hooks get the stun onto the clone. That'll be all of that. They're still looking for Saint maybe in top lane. I don't know if he spots the mist there. He might know. Does that emote mean that he knows, or that he's just upset about not being able to trade? Who knows?
I don't know. I personally, as a player, I emote when anything occurs in the video game. So I try not to read too much into what people are emoting for, because for me it's like, I missed a melee minion in lane, I emote every time. I don't know.
I don't emote
I
too
actually
much.
distinctly recall, I was playing Game of Gangplank today. I remember I queued my lane opponent just before my grass proc was available, so I didn't get the little bonus damage on my Gangplank queue. And I felt compelled to emote to express my displeasure with my mechanical play there.
Which emote is it? That's also important. You gotta get the
For
combos
me,
correct.
I have pretty much the 3 I always use, right? The Rammus, okay. The Rammus thumbs up, right? Absolutely goated emote in this game. Oh.
Nothing's happening here. This is
Okay.
not anything.
Yeah, you're right. It's Ornn Gragas. I'm not okay. Well, Rammus thumbs up. The Silas thumbs down. And the Soraka, this is fine. You know.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with those are like my big 3. I rotate some other ones a bit, but I've been using those pretty consistently for a while. I know. I linked one of my games that got uploaded to one of those YouTube channels for like replay. They just get like higher elo games and upload the replays, and I sent it to someone for whatever reason. I posted it in Discord, and I had a guy in call. He said, "Hey Lexus, so I just had a question about your VOD that I'm watching. I noticed that you do a Rammus thumbs up emoji every time you clear a jungle camp. Why is that?" And I frankly don't know. I think it's play the game for long enough and it gets to you.
Sometimes you gotta, you know.
Yeah. Let the jungle camps know you're better than them. Anyways, Dragon is spawning in 40 seconds.
Yeah, this is Ocean Dragon number 2. The last one secured by rawr. They've got the whole squad here. You've got Exhaust Ornn, which is pretty neat, and he's going to go ahead and open up the horn. Hammerboy bouncy time initiated. Saint is in the bounce house currently and is not escaping the bounce house anytime soon. Now Scrams into the back line though, gets a big cyclone. They're starting to use some of these ultimates though. The Kindred ult doing a good job buying time thus far, but a huge moonfall from Death
Oh,
Lotus just annihilates rawr off of the map. It's a triple kill for Death Lotus. They'll finish him off. What an ultimate from Death Lotus NA.
yeah. I mean, I also liked it. So Saint, he almost gets one shot. He is hanging on for dear life in this team fight. Our team's gonna, I think, have their cake and eat it too here on Drake and Baron. Um, while that's happening, Saint lives and he walks back into chuck his ult into the Kindred ultimate, and you can see him and Death Lotus having the exact same idea. Where everyone flew a little bit apart and then got sucked back in before they could finish flying out from Gragas ult. It was about a millisecond away from being a disastrous anti-synergy between the Gragas and the Diana. But instead we got that. A really nice play. And that's the other thing. When you have so much bounce house, Kindred ult doesn't save you from all of it. It saves you from the initial engage, but if you aren't using all of your revives extremely well,
This
then you're
message.
just going to get caught at the end when you're clumped up like that, and it's over.
Surrender Volt failed 2-1. That's always good. Good sign in your competitive game.
Hey, they're doing fine, I think, probably.
I hate that you can use Everfrost as part of your combo. Just makes Gragas even less interactable. And he already isn't.
Yeah.
Oh, and now he's got the shield for Winter's Approach? Okay. Yeah, it's doomed.
Oh.
Alright, well, they really
Whoa.
shouldn't dive this, and they won't. Maybe
What
they
is
will.
go?
Matsuro?
That's- Whoa.
Alright.
Rush is among us. I'm sorry. My bad.
You're pulling the Among Us and the Morbius sweep in one stream? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
all
don't
the
know about this one. Tower's gonna fall in top lane. RTM still marching their way in. They have Baron buffed minions coming in, and Objective Bounty has been claimed in the bottom lane that everybody really wants us to know about. The screen lit up for that. Taric ult's gonna be used on just Taric to try to get him out, and he got him out, so I guess that was worthwhile. In goes Little Saint, and out goes Little Saint. We're just throwing abilities back and forth. Things are happening
Yeah.
in this video game. And in comes the minion wave again.
I believe this is what we call sieging with 5 melee characters.
Yeah, Hook not quite there. Oath still trying to threaten from the side. They really have to go respond to this Viego, though. They'll knock back Catch My Hooks. That Taric should die. Matsuro was able to finish off the kill. Usain is just gonna die. Just scrams. He almost got the tower. That was very close.
Ooh.
This game has devolved into something, for sure.
Is there insight on who started the surrender vote in that bot lane death? I wonder.
Don't ever want to read too much into that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, knockup
Wow.
gonna land there. We're going for it. Magic Clap still. The Kindred ult just being used to help tank tower. Oath able to step back outside of it, gets a knockup, and then immediately dies. This dive is not going super well, but Saint is still alive, and Asylum will not be much longer. Scrams is continuing to push in on the bottom side as Taric has respawned. Viego still hasn't, because he's still a very high level in this game. And Matsuro and Little Saint will clean up a tower up in the top lane. Scrams will finish off one in the bottom lane as Usain is headed back to defend his precious bot lane tower.
Yeah, I mean, diving this team is difficult, to say the least, right? Through all those ultimates, they still get it done, and all things considered, I think it went pretty well. The
Yeah.
only thing is you do hand over the 1k from Oath onto the Kindred, I believe. So that feels good if you're Asylum, but I think that the overall game state does not feel that much better based on what just happened.
Yeah, poor Asylum just picked up his third mark of the game and got passed over for the ornament. The first ornament goes to Zillion, so he's got his Landry's Lament.
I'm sure Ornn would have loved to give an ornament to Viego in this game, but There's no mythic item yet at 27 minutes.
He's almost his Sunderer.
Yeah, or his Trinity Force,
Trinity
right?
Force. Yeah.
That's what it's the Hearthbound Axe.
Yeah, he's got
Trinity Force.
the Hearthbound axe.
Hearth. So it's coming along. Yeah, and there it is, Trinity Force. I think Peter has an item to give.
Oh.
Level 15. Matsuro going fishing.
Yeah, just like Vaughn in the Discord. Looks very relaxing.
Yeah, women love him, fish fear him. Von Ommerding.
A hat, fully can't encapsulate my political views on fish and women, so that's unfortunate. Hook not quite going to land there from Matsuro, but they've caught Peter Griefer and Usain just a little bit separated. The Terracult finally coming down, really stalling out this fight. Oath gets the knock up on a Magic Collapse, now finally finishes that one off, gets exhausted immediately afterwards. Asylum's on the top side, but Death Lotus is just fighting a dragon, and now he's fighting Usain and a dragon at the same time, which is going all right for Death Lotus, it looks like, as he's got his Zonias plus the ultimate. They'll be able to track down Tarek as well as catch my hooks. Catches a hook, unfortunately, and Saint eventually bonks him on the head with a water cooler.
That's a little silly. Poor Tark. Yep, I mean, they're up 13,000 gold. They have sold now. They're going to probably just take some inhibs here, go take Baron, win a team fight, win the game, right? It's all, when you're this far ahead...
They don't even need to go anywhere else, it looks like. They're going to stay for the whole shop. Nexus Tower number 1, Nexus Tower number 2 going to fall. Asylum and Magic Collapse both back up. Hook going to immediately land on the Zillion, and immediately he's sent back to the fountain. Oath is just going to use the Wind Wall and protect himself while he auto-attacks the Nexus to death. And we're tied at 1. Let's head to game 3.
Let's, indeed.
You can say more about it if you want. That's my big summary.
I think... I don't know how much more there's to say. I mean, I really like that rawr... They pulled out a pretty creative draft here. They got forced to pick some different champions, and maybe the pendulum swung too far in that regard. But either way, I tried something creative. Didn't work out the best for them. RTM tried a bounce house, and it did work out quite well for them. I really liked the way they were able to play through this bottom lane. I'm assuming that we'll probably just see a Yasuo ban next game, because that seems easier than dealing with the rest of this. Yeah. After that draft, I'm not sure how it could get any better. Looking at the draft phase of Game 3, but I guess we'll see what these teams have. Yeah. Does the lobby exist?
I have not been invited to it yet, so I guess I could. I do have the ability to open up the link with the tournament code. I'm here. Oh, no one else is here.
That seems to be... Oh. Said no one else is here.
Well, no one from ours. None of the...
We got Peter.
We got Peter. Peter and Usain. The dynamic duo. Here come the boys. Okay. We're in the right lobby.
Very good.
rawr would want red side. Make me have to flip all my assets back.
So rude of them, honestly. Bit
Yeah.
inconsiderate.
It's like they don't even consider me when making their side selection.
I mean, when will they think about what really matters? The production.
Our production people, even people, though.
I'll say no. I'll say it.
Yeah, that's right.
I know. Bit brave. I just from experience as a player, I honestly, you know, I love production, right? I love having my game streamed and casted, and I especially like it when y'all do it, right? Because it's not like super official, it's not intrusive. We're here, you're here watching, talking. It's all good time. The only thing that peeves me is when we're playing games and we have to like wait on production, right? So that they can like run it on schedule and the casters can talk about what champion they looked at my OPGG and saw me playing this week in solo queue. You know, I just want to start the draft.
Yeah,
Play the game.
I ask
you know?
that you give me enough time to get out of the game and into the next one, and that's all I want. And even that, if you send me a draft link and I can spectate you in client, I don't really care. Like, that's negotiable even.
Yeah.
But
I'm a proponent of in leagues just starting, and from most leagues I've watched and played in, I figure the production will probably be able to catch up, probably be able to make up the first two picks of the draft, you know, so that the players aren't sitting here waiting forever, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little whiny crybaby, but
I think there's something to be said if you're like doing a very official thing, like you're on LCS schedule, like you should probably be on LCS's schedule. But
yeah, I mean the higher the level of competition, or like the more official, if that makes sense, the less amateur it gets, the more I understand.
But yeah, like a league like this, I don't know.
Hey, And if the prize
Most
pool
of
is
the time
nice,
you're,
I'll play your game. But
most of the time your casters can't come up with 3 minutes of fill for the 3-minute spectator delay. I don't know about.
like in Runeterra Academy, rest in peace, Runeterra Academy. Spring, it wasn't us, but I remember there was a big argument. I don't know if you were in the senior chat. There was a big argument between one guy on Mint Gaming Mirage and a couple members of Team Ambition Black, where Team Ambition, I think, was streaming it, and they delayed one of the games a long time for production, like 15 minutes or something, for this production that isn't even official of the league production, right?
Yeah.
Like, if that happened to me, I would be very peeved, and I think the Mint people were a bit peeved by that. But if it's like an official thing, if it was an official Runeterra stream, then I can roll with it. If you're putting up the prize money, then I'll wait 10 minutes. But yeah.
Well, we have a new draft to consider here, as we've missed bans, but it doesn't matter, as it turns out. So Olaf, Gwen, Karthus, Katarina, and Kale not going to be played this game. rawr is on their last ban, and it's going to be the Wukong, which does leave open the Yasuo once again for Oath. Leaves open Diana as a flex. Leaves open Nocturne, which is something that's been banned the first 2 games by rawr.
And Nocturne seems like the kind of champion that would be it's the Nautilus.
Ooh, the Nautilus takeaway.
Wow. The blue one Nautilus. Vaughn would be sick. Vaughn would be physically ill. But and the Pike.
All right.
See, rawr's got some spice in their drops.
Yeah.
I like these picks.
Pike is short for Pike'll, of course. So.
Pike'll selected on R1. And then we get our blind, Zach. Wow.
Zach, I think, for what it's worth, is actually a flex pick in this patch. Like, can jungle, can top.
Yeah, I think he's been about equally good in either role
so
for a while.
Pike. Like, Pike mid is a thing. I don't think it's a great
Pike,
thing.
Pike mid got nerfed pretty hard. Not even durability patch. He got specific changes to patch before to make him not really play. He doesn't get double the gold anymore when he kills people solo. He just doesn't print as much money, so he can't get away with farming at 3 CS per minute. And Yasuo Diana locked in again. Nautilus, Yasuo Diana. I mean, it worked for Autumn last game. Why not go back to the same core?
If the Nautilus rather than the Thresh, but I mean, why not, honestly?
Yeah, I mean, maybe more effective than Thresh, honestly, with the Yasuo comp.
Jhin.
Point and click knockup. Jhin feels...
You can
fine.
play at a long enough distance that you probably don't die, but I don't know. Nautilus into Jhin always feels really bad to play as Jhin. In my particular experience, which isn't to say that that's, good or high level or anything, but...
Peter Griefer and Usain have swapped roles for this game, I think.
Yeah, that's what they said.
I just noticed that. I just observed that.
Sorry.
My bad. And no more tanks, apparently. Malphite Scion taken away.
Are they trying to force the Ornn pick? Because that would be kind of interesting.
I think if...
Kragus?
I mean...
Alright.
Honestly, I don't... If we're RTM, I get not wanting to play into a bunch of tanks as Yasuo Diana. But rawr is just looking at no damage if they lock in something like Ornn here, right?
Yeah, they'd need something kind of nutty in mid lane with damage.
But,
or, I mean, Zach can do it reasonable amount if you build like
Demonic Embrace. Or
demonic.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zach is another character, by the way. He's been performing better on this patch. He's still got some of the same weaknesses. Notably, one of his weaknesses is that Trundle is not banned in this game, but I don't know how much of a comfort pick that is for, say, Scrams or Lil Saint.
I know Scrams
Anivia.
plays it. Oh, Anivia. That's rough mid lane matchup now for Diana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There it is. I mean, I get maybe they played it all along and they just didn't. But excited to see that champ. And Vygar's the lock-in. So we're looking at Diana flexed.
Yeah, that'd be Diana jungle probably for Scrams.
I guess.
Oh, Poppy? Okay.
Oh.
Alright. So the doesn't really help me at all. I think Poppy's jungle, just from what I know of these players.
Yeah, I
But
think so. To me, that reads as them saying we could pick Vygar into Anivia and send Diana jungle, and then Death Lotus called a shot and said, no, I'll play Diana into Anivia. We'll take Poppy to counter Zac, right?
Yeah.
Counter the Zac engage. So there's really no way for Zac to get through Poppy W, and so be the Ornn locked in. So remember what I was just saying about rawr wanting to pick too many more tanks because they're going to be low damage.
That's a great matchup for Singed. If this is taken, yeah, this is a fun Singe matchup.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, an easy one. I don't think that Ornn puts up the most of the strongest of battles against Singed, right? Singed is performing extremely well since the durability patch, by the way. I don't know if you're aware. Champion has a very high win rate in both top and mid. The mid Singed, the little predator strategy. The champion's just been looking pretty great all around. So really like the some of the new meta pickups here from rawr and the Anivia and the Sin on R4, R5. And I also, a big thing I like about rawr's team comp here is they're retaining a little bit of what they had last game, where last game they had 2 Can't Kill Me ultimates and a revive ultimate. This time they have the 2 passive revives from Zac and Anivia, right? So they're still resisting the one-shot potential. And this Singed pick, this Anivia pick, just going to be doing so much damage, I think. They're not going to get one shot very easily by Yasuo Diana. And Poppy or Nautilus don't have the most follow-up damage. So if they can survive the Yasuo Diana combo, there's a lot less damage coming over the top from something like a Wukong or a Gragas with AP. I don't know. I honestly have to say I like that RTM sticking to the theme that worked for them last game, but I think they have a little bit less damage, a little bit more CC, and I feel like rawr came out in a good spot. The only weird pick to me is this, not weird, but the only, I don't know, I assume Pyke must have a great Nautilus matchup for whatever reason. This champion doesn't look like he's that insane in this game into triple tanks. I could be wrong. I'm not super Pyke pilled.
Yeah, I love the champion. I think that he's super fun, and the Dark Soul skin that he got is honestly the best one in the entire game. But yeah, I don't think it's a great spot for Pyke.
Yeah, and Jhin, not the most DPS against this Ornn, Poppy, Nautilus, but Jhin has, regardless. I mean, a lot of time people think about Jhin getting picked and like, oh, Jhin doesn't have a lot of DPS. He's a lower damage character, but he's actually been performing really well in this patch as well. For reasons that I'm sure if you had a Jhin player on the desk, they could explain better. He's been doing quite well, probably because he doesn't just get pissed on by every character that looks at him. So
yeah, he has the time to do the Jhin thing.
Yeah, he does like longer fights where you can get shot. He's just mostly been a facilitator and a burst character for a lot of the last couple seasons, I think. Anyways, game 3. Playoff spots, seeding is on the line. So
I didn't even need to be here. I'll just let you do the whole intro.
hey, I'm warmed up. You can stop me whenever. I just blabber on, and I'm not. It ain't that good. Any thoughts? I've been talking my ass off.
No, mostly just I think my Benadryl finally kicked in because I'm not sneezing nonstop, but I also am just tired as shit. So it's the trade-off, you know. You can't have allergies if you're just knocked out. So it's a good strategy, and one that I think they market pretty well.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I'm not really an allergy person. I don't have a lot of allergies.
I wasn't either until
Got old or what?
yeah, until college roughly. I started to have allergies in college, which was the worst thing because I had no idea what the fuck was happening. All I knew was my eyes hurt.
That's funny.
Yeah. Don't get old. Anyway.
Yeah. It's happening, regrettably.
That's pretty unlucky, as the kids say.
As far as league goes, I'm a boomer, apparently at this point. 23.
Ooh.
It's over. My wrists are shot. My career's done.
That's rough. I never had a career to begin with. I hit Masters in StarCraft 2, and it's all been downhill from there.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. I mean, I played the 2v2 StarCraft 2 game for my CLL team. That was my big claim to fame.
Okay. Wow. Collegiate StarCraft 2.
Yeah, it was a nice joke too, because you played 3 1v1s and a 2v2 as the set. And then if you were tied after that, then there was an ace match. And it's the weirdest fucking format, and I didn't understand it because the 2v2 maps they picked were just the worst. So we just cheese every game, and we win, because for some reason people didn't prep 2v2 strats, so...
They just showed up on game day every week and said, whoa,
there's 2v2? a 2v2? Yeah.
Again?
No, because we just take the maps like a week ahead of time, and we're like, okay, well, yeah, this one's like way too short to hold this cheese, so let's just cheese, and then we cheese and we'd win. It's like, I guess they'd never played that map before. Unlucky.
That's funny.
Anyway, that's my boomer days. I went 5-0 in my 1 year of 2v2s, and we lost in the playoffs because every single one of our 1v1s just got completely crushed by I don't know. I forget who we were playing. It was some like big school with like people who played StarCraft in it, because our 1v1 players were not that good.
That's what I was thinking you might say. Yeah.
No, I thought it was weird. There was very clearly a lot of politics that went into it, and I didn't care about them. So they were just like, that guy's pretty good, just throw him on the 2v2 team. But we had like a platinum player playing on our our third 1v1, which never made any sense to me.
Interesting. I think by the time I got involved in esports club, maybe they do have StarCraft. I don't think so. I think it's dead. I regret to inform you. Or maybe
Yeah,
we're just not cool and with the times like everyone else, who's probably all playing Star.
I don't know how, when they stopped doing StarCraft. I kind of stopped paying attention because, you know, done with college, done with StarCraft, and then I started playing
Yeah,
League pretty much exclusively after that, so it just didn't matter to me.
very good.
But
Game has started.
yeah, the game
We're
has
doing a
started.
little.
We're in. We're doing a silly little invade in mid lane. I
We're
love
doing the.
this. I love this invade that they do. Um, it has worked 1 out of the 3 times, but they've been counter invaded, and now they need to be a little bit careful about what they do next. Ooh, look at that ward. That's a pretty high value ward from Scrams if he sees anybody. I don't know that he saw anybody.
Oh, Will Saint breathing on his team. Ooh.
Ooh. All right, well, we got the hook onto the Anivia. We're going to have a level 1 fight after all. Matsuro's going to be the first victim, potentially, of this fight. It's first blood for rawr. Peter
Oh,
Griefer still has
Usain.
his extra life. Usain is just zipping through there with the poison. Oath is going to fall, not quite able to find the tornado where he needs it. And it's 3-0 early on for rawr.
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly, if I'm RTM, I think you would prefer if they had walked into you or something like that right ahead. Your damage level 1 following up on a hook is not that great, but 3-0 for rawr, it's gonna feel pretty bad. Uh, but what can you do, right?
Yeah,
Moving forward, Summoners expended, Flash and Teleport for Magic Lapse, Ghost for Usain. Um, Matsuro used his Flash and Ignite. Both supports used Ignite. So in theory, there's a window here in top and mid for RTM to make some plays in the first 5 or so minutes of the game.
yeah, we'll see what they can find. It's level 2s in the bottom lane. That's a nice little play, though, from Catch My Hooks, and Matsuro's down again.
Wow.
Really nicely done there by Catch My Hooks. That was pretty clean.
Yep. I mean, not a lot. They lost the level 2 push, and oh wow.
Yeah, Oath getting flipped back in. He'll get the double knock-up, but I just don't think that there's enough here. Looks like he'll be able to survive for the time being. Death Lotus trying to find more damage in the mid lane on a Magic Collapse, and this top lane is not going to go particularly well for Saint at like any point, so you have to feel like it has to be mid lane that turns it around for ROTM.
Yep. And Magicleps, he didn't even full heal before he teleported back from the level 1. Oh, Matsuro. Nice looks.
Yeah, Matsuro finally
Oh,
gets the root onto him, but now nothing really to follow up. There's the extra hook. Oath just trying to stay right at this max range. Oh, doesn't have the knock-up. Oh, no!
alright. And those tower shots are just. I had crunched him. That was charged up maybe once, right?
Yeah.
And wow. Well, currently a little bit of a disaster in the bottom side. Oh, top lane.
Yeah, Usain
Saint
gets
wins
taken pretty
this.
low. Saint has to play a little patiently, but I think that he eventually wins it.
Now the wave's cleared out. Maybe he wins it a little less, but he wants it. He knows he can kill Usain if he gets the look.
Oh, no. He's so fast. Oh, no. Everything
Peter
is just
Griefer?
going slightly wrong for ROTM so far in this game. Peter Griefer gonna go in, gets turned into some bloblets. I don't know that Saint can actually finish him off, though, so that's at least something back in his favor. Usain? Why are you... Alright. Okay. Well,
You know, I feel bad calling out Peter Griefer's name in a situation like that because it sounds like I'm just flaming him directly. When he jumped back in, I said Peter Griefer. Oh, nice Bellows Breath.
yeah, that was actually a really nicely timed W on the flip, and Usain just gonna be sad, but he'll get some minions. He's got Swifties? Oh,
Sure. I
sure.
don't know what Singe players are doing. I'll be honest. They do all kinds of stuff, and it works.
I don't know that Singed players know what Singed players are doing most of the time. You just kind of
Yeah,
walk around and eventually people die around you, and it's just kind of a wild experience to play Singed.
yeah,
I was
that
really
sounds
upset.
right.
Singed was the second ever character I played in this game. The first one was Vigar. So I was trying to nuke people with his like sticky stuff, and it didn't work. And I thought that the champ was just dog shit. So
Oh, I mean, if it's the second champ you ever played, I mean, his W was just a terrible, awful. Oh,
yeah, catch my hooks gets caught just a little bit lacking here. Knock up from Oath will be enough to finish him off,
nice.
and they get the kill back in the bottom lane. And RTM have relatively stabilized now, down 1k. Brought it back from about 2k that they were down earlier.
Yeah, it's a really nice W from Scrams. Whatever that poppy ability's called. Blocks the jump on catch my hooks, kind of dooms him there. Gets the shove back into the team.
Oh, we're still
Oh,
looking
this
for it.
dive scares me.
Knock up into... Oh, not quite the next knock up. And Asylum is out of the back end of the tower,
Wow.
so only the one tower shot going on to Matsuro, and they'll be able to just walk in and get a tower plate. But that's really good for the bottom lane of Oath and Matsuro.
Mm-hmm. Peter.
Oh, Peter has his Gromp taken from him. Le
Oh
Gromp, no.
The Gromp James. I like. Whoa,
Usain?
whoa, whoa,
Oh.
whoa, whoa.
Knockup's going to land from Little Saint. I don't think they can really close that gap anymore. Cinch players just be doing stuff. You know?
Yeah. Okay. The tower. I already talked about it. That's a little. Frankly, if Usain watches the VOD, that was a little silly. I'll be
Do you
honest.
think he's a singed main named Usain? Because that would be very funny. I would
Oh,
appreciate
it's
that.
like because he's fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could probably just one of those things. Like when I played jungle in the Hecarim Meteor meta, my name was a car.
Yeah.
People were like, "That's funny," and it was a little funny, but you know, it wasn't.
It
It's not
wasn't
like I
intentional.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just convenient for me. Yeah, Lil Saint up top. It's good. He's kind of looking like a battle Ornn, and I'm kind of liking it. Where is Usain?
He's
bot
bottom.
lane.
He's in bottom.
Holy.
Did they spot him? What is
I
happening?
don't know what's going on, man.
Alright.
They're trying to bait it, I think. Catch My Hooks is standing far up. I wonder how much sunk cost fallacy Usain can get here.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. We've been here this long.
Alright. So you
why
say
is
this.
Catch...
Oh, well, here we go. They get the hook onto Matsuro, they get the flip, and Ignite, and the counter hook for Matsuro. Going a little crazy, but he'll survive. I don't think you had the pleasure to cast the last gold playoffs with me for Runeterra Academy.
I did not, no.
There was game 5 of... it was either the quarter or semifinal. The enemy jungler sat in bot lane for 3 minutes and 40 seconds and won the game on a gank. So if you can
That's awesome.
sit there for 3 minutes and 40 seconds and still get the job done, maybe there is no sunk cost fallacy, you know?
I was subbing for this UAL team, and I have an extremely holy VOD that I could find of me sitting in a bot lane bush for almost 2 entire minutes as Jarvan, where I did my full bot side and then just sat in the bush for almost 2 minutes and then was on a ward for half of it. And we got the tower dive off. And by that I mean my bot lane crashed wave and I walked in and 1-for-1'd under tower. And
Oh, that's
I don't know.
timing. Okay.
We won the game.
That's all that matters. At the end of the day, the dub is the dub, you know?
I mean, there's something to be said about I guess that was their top laner though. Oh, Death Lotus.
Yeah, Death Lotus is looking for the solo bolo here in mid lane. He's gonna find the egg, and we'll see if he can finish scrambling it now. This is
I don't think he can.
durability, yeah, durability patch shenanigans happening.
Durability
Magiclap's
this.
just
Fancy
gonna
grab.
walk away. Oh, what is happening? He's just in with the Hex Flash. Scrams is zooming his way in, but not quite there yet. They'll get one knock up onto Peter Griefer, but in comes Saint now. The Ram jam kill on the back end. Catch these hooks is here. Catch my hooks. Not going to be able to find that one. Nicely timed Bellows Breath from Little Saint. It's a 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
Ram Jam. I honestly, I ran into this Masters Singed OTP in some in-houses a little while back, and for reasons that I won't go into detail, that's not worth it. I was watching one of his solo queue games to see if basically if the way he played in solo queue was the same as in-houses. Rest in peace, Hussein. You were a
Yeah.
real one. And it really was. It was basically exactly like what I'm witnessing here from Hussein, except he got starred earlier. It was just Singed OTP. He went up to lane, ran around, got killed at level 4, and respawned and ran straight to bottom lane. And I don't know. I think that you just do some stuff on that champion sometimes, and it works out.
Does that work like a high percentage of the time?
I high enough to get masters. I will tell you.
All right, Matsuro, yeah, stopping the engage there. Scrams on the backside, just going to pin Magiclaps into the wall. It's a big Moonfall, able to take down the Anivia, but I don't think the Death Lotus really has a way out of this. Oh, little dyssynergy there on the flip and the Death from below from Catch My Hooks, but they'll finish off Scrams at least. They get the 1-for-1. Dragon goes to ROTM, though.
Yeah. I mean, you just can't feel like this is how the top lane matchup is supposed to be going, by the way. But all in all, I'd say this is good for RTM. I mean, they get the 1-for-1, they get the drag. And then Singed is there for an assist. But
Yeah.
remember, and maybe there's something about top lane matchups that I don't know that these players do. I just don't feel like this is what the top lane state should be at this point in the game.
No. So Singed kind of loses trades pretty hard to Saint until he gets one item. And then
Yeah.
you hit that first item, and all of a sudden, Ornn doesn't get to play the video game. But Usain wasn't able to hit that in any reasonable amount of time, and now he's very behind. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult, if you want my analysis, because I've actually played these two champions, which is kind of rare, honestly, for my analysis.
Singed is definitely a scaler, right? I mean, I agree with that. Like, his early trades on Ornn don't sound that favorable, especially when you have the boot start and the Predator rune. But I don't know. All in all, when you look at where RTM started this game, 0-3 at the level 1.
Oh, the knockback? The double knockup from Oath.
Okay.
That was kind of crispy, but then he dashed back onto a trap, so I have to negate some of that praise for him.
Hey, it's good looks. It's a positive summoner spell trade. Both flashes burn, and
Oh
Hussein
my
is getting
god.
slammed.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Not that tanky. Not a very high level. Oh, Peter.
Yes.
I mean, frankly, I'm just confused, I guess, a little bit about the nature of the role swap into this. I feel like I'm missing some lore or something.
So, theory, well, not going to get to talk much about it. Death Lotus is in a lot of trouble. Ooh, another, just not quite there. Magiclaps is going to be turned into an egg again. Matsuro just trying to bodyguard here. Scrams flies his way in. They're looking for any damage they can onto the Anivia, but they're not quite able to find it. Peter Griefer now comes in, slaps them together. Now Kith, and Scrams is going to die. I think the theory is that Peter Griefer wants to have more agency over the game because he's just been up in top lane doing some things, and it's been going fine for him, but he wanted to try to do more on the map. And Usain's like, yo, I'll play Singed.
Oh, Oath. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. I well, I feel like then you just tell your team, don't pick me Ornn.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think Usain has been doing a bad job in these games. But top lane say is just really rough right now. And it doesn't really feel like, I mean, or Zach doesn't really have anything he can do about an Ornn who's just lane kingdoming, right? Too
Yeah.
tanky.
He
Ornn
can
has
build.
2 items at 15. He's working on his third, probably Frozen Heart here with the Sapphire Crystal.
He can build the tech though. He's almost got enough. He's got 2.3 thousand. Oh, gonna land onto Oath. I don't know that he gets out of this one. This seems a little risky. Oh yeah, now with Zach here, he definitely doesn't. Oath is gonna do his best though. Doesn't have the ult. Yeah, that was always gonna happen. But Pike gets the kill. Not a cash out though with his ult.
Still more heavy trading. The Ram Jam.
The Ram Jam, the bonk, the clapping happening up in the top lane.
I mean, I think I've played. Oh
my god. Alright, well, the opposite thing is happening to Death Lotus right now, and he's going to be cashed out by Catch My Hooks. Scrams?
Scrams wants the smoke.
Scrams?
He will be getting it.
Oh, he was trying to ult. I saw the play. I saw the build up in my mind. You know, he was going to pop over there, use his ult to knock people back over himself, and then just walk out. But he got interrupted by the wall. That was a good play by Magic Labs.
Yep. Yeah, it's a nice catch initially onto Death Lotus. Turns into a little bit of a pathing mistake, maybe from Scrams or misclick or something, leads into another kill. It's going to be first dragon of the game going over to rawr. Their first dragon.
Yeah.
Say. I mean, the game state's just really weird because you have this Ornn who is worth 1,000 gold. And then it feels like you're winning on the rest of the map. But the overall goal is even. You're not winning that hard. I don't know. I think if Lil Saint, you know, he's going Frozen Heart here, which is fine. The item's insanely gold efficient. I think if he picks up a Force of Nature as his fourth item at like 25 minutes or whenever he gets it, I don't know if he's ever going to die.
Good Gale
again.
Force away from Asylum. They'll get the knock-up with the ult, just trying to channel everything in. They'll get the stun. Nicely done. Oath picks up the shutdown onto the Pike, even gets the extra knock-up on the end. Can't really follow it, but well played there on the last breath, and they'll pick up the Pike kill and continue pushing in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
And it feels good for
this
RKM
game
to get a good play that isn't around the Ornn, because that's been kind of the struggle thus far.
Yeah. So all game, this game and last game, they've been doing a good job with this Yasuo pick
teleport
of
coming in from
facilitating.
Usain. This is maybe going to be a little risky. They immediately pop Usain into the wall, and he's not going to escape. Eventually, Poppy takes him down. Oath is now in the firing range and falls to Peter Griefer.
Well, that was riveting, really. Ornn continues his attack on Titan. I don't know what.
Yeah, he's
level 14. I mean, he's ready to start doling out ornaments for 20 minutes.
He's doing the Singed thing better than the Singed is doing. He's taken 2 towers. He's got, 80 CS advantage.
Yeah. He's taking red buff.
He's taking red buff.
Hell yeah. Here comes Frozen Heart, too. Yep.
Oh, that was almost a brutal wall. Death Lotus almost got pinned into, like, the little corner.
Yeah.
I hate it. That thing is so hard to play around. Anyway.
It's a bit frustrating.
I don't know that he needed to do that, but
honestly,
might as well.
He's got 4 people coming up, and he's worth 1,000 gold as a Ornn. Might as well, right?
Yeah,
I
takes
I
the
always had the same thought, and then I saw the Pike and Nivy on the minimap. It checks out. So if you're RTM, right, you're thinking about what your next steps are. You have Drake in 2 minutes. Soul win con is so far away for either team, and I think that our team would honestly prefer to win faster rather than later. They scale all right, but Anivia singed. I
I think
think
it's
it's
interesting.
time they try and get Lil Saint involved.
All right, so Oath has the worst named ornament.
Oh, it's the wait. What? I'm not looking. Is this the This isn't the Worm Fallen.
No, Wormfallen
No, this
Sacrifice
is
is fine. That's an okay name.
Blood Ward.
Yeah, Bloodward. He's got the Bloodward.
The counterpart to
Squid,
Cripward.
Squid. All right.
Squidward if he joined a gang.
I don't know what value Squidward would really have in a gang, but you know,
He's a real one.
he is a real one. Death Lotus just getting chased down by a Zac right now. There's a lot of crowd control available, and he doesn't have a whole lot of defensive capability, so just gonna walk out. Oh, gets slapped back in. There's the stun, and eventually Magic Claps picks that one up. But
Oh.
have they taken too much time down on the bottom side? Is this Usain's time to shine?
Oh, go in, Usain.
Usain?
Ah.
Okay, he's popped the ult. He's gonna interrupt recalls, maybe? No, we're not even gonna get that. Catch my hooks. Does get a hook, and Singe gets... The directed camera really had us for that one.
Yeah. That was nice. The buffs to Poppy ult, where they increase the range where it sends people 2 patches ago. It's really funny if you get a full channel on someone. They go quite far. I don't know. Maybe it's just the expectation that I got used to with Poppy ult, but it sends people to the moon now. It feels like.
It's already a funny ult, like, to start with, and then it just got funnier.
Yeah.
I think that's really
Exactly.
valuable in League of Legends. If you have a funny ability, just make it funnier.
I think they should give it the Sona treatment where they dance while it's happening to them. You know? Imagine flying through the air playing your dance animation.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
That's a
of
big-
more, like, funny abilities, and there really aren't that many, but that's okay. Dragon gonna go down in favor of ROTM. That's their second one. Usain is finally doing the Singe thing, where he's just split on the top half of the map, and they're gonna have to send somebody to deal with him, and it looks like it's gonna be Death Lotus's job. Catch My Hooks has a little flank set up. This 3-man squad from RTM, they're going to interrupt the Zac engage and immediately try to re-engage onto the Jhin. Oath goes in with the last breath. They just don't quite have the damage to chew through any of this. Magic Claps is here to try to turn it around. One cash out kind of happens over there. Knock up from Little Saint goes a little bit wide. Oath and Saint trying to fight their way back out. He gets pulled over the wall. Able to dash away from the Pike ultimate.
Oh,
and now this is suddenly
wow.
going okay for ROTM as they turn Zac into some bloblets. Jump over the wall from Death Lotus, interrupts the thing, but it's a double kill for the Anivia, and I don't even know what's happening. I have lost the train so bad. That's 3 for 3. And Saint, Death Lotus, Peter Griefer, and Usain are still alive.
Correct. That's yeah, I mean, they quite really was so close to being really good for RTM. It looked like the Anivia ult or Q, I didn't see what exactly, but something from Anivia just barely clipped both Oath and Scrams as they were trying to finish off the Zac blobs. Almost a really good fight for RTM, but those two going down ends up going more even.
Yeah, and it was like just at the same time as Death Lotus had jumped in as Diana onto him, because it canceled the initial ult, and then I don't know, again, I don't know if it was one tick of the like ult off of cooldown or a Q that came over, but it got both of them immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay,
and-
we're really going for it. We're going for the Reliquary of the Golden Dawn on the Nautilus, rather than getting the Poppy upgrade.
Maybe
But also
Little
Saint's
Saint
level
Scram's
16.
having some beef or something.
True.
That I'll show you a weak side me again. Not that it seems to have been an issue, or even have occurred in this game. Divine Sunder or Poppy. So this Divine Sunder Dead Man's Plate build makes a lot more sense, I think, than the Viego one does.
It's also nice because you can like hit your W and get a Sunderer proc on your buckler.
Yeah.
And then you get the slow as well.
Yeah. No,
It's fun. I used to do. Don't tell anyone about this build. This is super top secret. But you do Trinity Force Static Shiv, Dead Man's Plate, on
Stack Shiv isn't in the game anymore.
yeah on Crit Poppy. It was great. But
Oh, I thought
just...
you were saying this is a build that you
no
do.
no don't do that.
Oh no, honey.
I used to do it. But yeah, you'd hit W and just like take somebody down to a quarter of their health by throwing a buckler at them. It was fantastic.
Yeah, you're living the glory days of a pre-rework Poppy.
Yeah. No, that wasn't
an
pre.
abomination.
That thing was.
Yeah. I know you're talking about the buckler, like the current version,
Yeah.
but
the old one where you'd go Trinity Force and just hit W and pop somebody. That was very bizarre. I didn't understand that champion at all. And then you could only be damaged by one person on the enemy team.
Yeah, frankly, that champion didn't make a lot of sense. Not understanding it is probably valid. It's like the looks by all means like she might be a tank or bruiser or something. Actually, it's a one-shot assassin.
And it's a one-shot assassin that can pick one person on the enemy team that damages them. So you just pick somebody that you weren't going to go one-shot, and then just one-shot. It was very weird. It didn't play like a champion in this game.
Yeah.
Between that and old Scion, they had some wild ideas about what champions should do.
Speaking of wild ideas about things, I wonder if anyone has any wild ideas about how they're going to contest this dragon that's spawning in 30 seconds.
Oh, that's a good.
It looks like both teams are just going to amble around and see what's up. Neither one set up super early. I think the vision a little bit in favor. I think the vision's a little bit in favor of rawr. Not that they necessarily have a lot more, but when you're on red side, you have the inherent advantage of not having to walk all the way around.
Usain just kind of walks into three people that he knew were there. Not going to pay for it immediately. Huge knockup, though, from Lil Saint. Can they continue to chain these through? Big damage, though, coming back from Magic Claps, but now he gets stuck in the knockup house. Big turn from Death Lotus and Oath, and it's a double kill for the Diana. Oath is trying to track down the Pike at the end of this one. It's a little dangerous for him to do so, but ROTM gets a huge 4-for-0 win.
Woo! Catch my hooks. Nice juke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pike's hard to lock down, as it turns out. Scram's is going to go ahead and finish off the Dragon, and it looks like the rest of the team headed to Baron, the same play that they had in the last game. Scram should have Smite, so I don't think Pike can really threaten him there.
Yeah. And, I mean, just a really great Diana ultimate, honestly. Catching both Jhin and Anivia. Exactly the people you need to be getting. Nice follow-up. It's good patience from Oath, I think, because there were a couple opportunities for knockups on the Yasuo earlier, but they hold it until they get the right opportunity to just blow the team fight out. They also claimed the shutdown on the Zac. Who got that? Yeah, that goes on to Death Lotus. Feeling very strong now. 6k gold. 3 dragons their name. Hextech Drake is one of my favorites. Gives you a little bit of, isn't it? It's attack speed and ability haste. Yeah. Yeah. 6%. 6 ability haste. 6% attack speed. And it's the little things. I think those stats feel pretty nice, especially when you're going to get the opportunity to stack 2 or 3 of them. So, RTM probably feeling quite good about their place in this game.
Yeah, and now marching it down mid, Scrams is going to go ahead and get the pin onto Peter Griefer, even stop the the jump away from the elastic slingshot. He'll get bumped around, knocked around, and eventually turned into Bloblets. Big ult from Scrams is going to knock 2 back away. In comes the teleport from Usain, but a big knockup back the other way from Lil Saint as he joins the fray as well. Asylum very low on the backside. Scrams is just stuck inside this Anivia ult, though. Oath gets taken down by Catch My Hooks, and the over-aggression on the dive might be a little too much. Death Lotus goes into Zanya's, but now going to get flipped around and eventually executed. Catch My Hooks is finally cashing out. Gets another stun down onto Lil Saint. He'll get the hook back in, gets the flip, and should eventually get executed by Death from Below. You would imagine.
Maybe.
Maybe. He's got to be low enough.
Yeah, here it
there
comes,
it is.
right?
Okay.
Wow.
That's a huge cash out.
Yeah.
That flipped the gold pretty significantly.
Yeah, it flipped it back to just a 4K deficit for rawr, but it's a good defense. I think a bit just overzealous from RTM. You can't use that much to pick off Zach, right? He's a tanky boy, and he still had his bloblets all along, right?
Well, I think you can use enough to pick off Zac, but you can't then go for the redive on the inhibitor turret. You have to...
that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. So that's going to be the Baron, all but wiped off the map. I think, does Matsuro still have it?
Yeah, Matsuro.
Is that what he's doing up there?
Yep.
Yep, there he is. The Warrior Nautilus. I think he's going to die here to Usain. Maybe not.
He's got the Reliquary of the Golden Dawn, so don't doubt him. I'm not going to commentate this. Yeah, this is just happening. It's a big shield. Yeah, it's not going to matter. Oh, no. Alright. That actually kind of sucks, though.
Yeah, I agree. I find that displeasurable. Oath?
Oath is trying to make Jinstay displeasurable as well. Now the rest of the squad coming in, they find Catch My Hooks. They're going to use the Diana combo just to be able to finish off the Pike, and I don't really blame them. That champ's just super annoying, and now he's dead.
Yeah. No more Pike.
He didn't even go the cool skin. He didn't have the Ashen Knight Pike, so...
Hey, not all of us have the wallet flex. We don't want to make the big bucks from streaming MetaShift games.
Fair, I guess.
I
had enough when they converted my whatever to whatever it is now, you know? My gemstones to purple currency. Scrams is caught here, but just sends Singe back to the moon.
Maybe he can...
Can he walk out
Not
of this? There's a lot of CC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's bad. The first one was kind of unlucky on Matsuro. That one is bad. 30 seconds to go before the potential Hextech Soul Point that you feel like would be the big tipping point that ROTM needs. We could still see these fights kind of go either way, and they're still willing to contest them for some reason. Saint and Matsuro hanging around, just going to get opened up on. Matsuro able to Spider-Man back to the wall. They get the 3-man knockup. In comes Oath. This is a disadvantaged fight right now, still for ROTM, but they're buying time for Death Lotus, who's on the inhibitor. They lose the Yasuo in the process. Flash over the wall from from Lil Saint. He's still buying time. The back front door from Diana might actually pay off. He gets one Nexus turret, but now now the Anivia's back. They'll finally finish that one off. They get the second Nexus tower, and Death Lotus has to go in. He uses the Moonfall, gets... Oh, Magic Collapse is so low, but not quite turned into the egg. And with Usain here, now finally does finish off the egg, and won't be able to finish off Anivia ultimately. So you give more shutdowns back to rawr and the Dragon, but you get both Nexus towers. Where are we at, Lexus? What are we feeling now?
Where are we at? So the Nexus is open, which historically is good. rawr is scaling. Usain, I might even say despite some of his better efforts, is now on 4 full items plus boots. Their team composition is coming online. RTM doesn't seem to want to buy magic resistance against this singed Anivia's Zach. I think if you're rawr, you're sitting there with your Tyler 1 hat that says your tank top that says winnable right now, and you're feeling like you could do it. But I think the game state is still in RTM's advantage. It'd be really nice if they had a Dragon Soul right now and didn't all die. But all they really have to do here, right, is show up and stall.
They might have picked Pike. Oh, not quite enough damage to pick the Pike. And now Usain walking on in. They get the big Ram Jam. That's nice again from Lil Saint, but Oath just kind of takes that into his death. Diana's headed in the front door, though, during all of this. Walking on in, Anivia right behind her, getting some autos down onto the Nexus, starting to layer it in. Matsuro interrupts the recall of Jin, interrupts the recall of the Zac, gets killed. Scrams interrupts one recall as well, but eventually falls to the Pike. More autos coming through. Death Lotus finishes off Anivia and the Nexus for the win in game number 3. ROTM wins 2-1, and I don't even know anymore. My brain is just leaking out of my ears. That's just
what I was saying, you know, that they're in the good game state. If they can go to Baron and pull everyone from rawr there, all they have to do is have 1 or 2 people run it up. Game's over. It's a good call. It's a really nice call. It's a really nice way to close out the series, I think. Show that you got a little fight in you. So.
Well, those were some games of League of Legends. Thank you for joining me, Lexus. ROTM improves to 5-3. We're going to fall to 3-4 after that display of League of Legends. Yeah, I don't know when the next game is going to be. It'll be this week sometime, so stay tuned for that. That'll be the last cast of the regular season, and I think that's it. So, yeah, thanks again, Lexus.
Oh yeah, anytime. For that, anytime.
We'll see you guys soon. I guess Aikato's streaming. Go watch Aikato. Go play some cards.
Oy, oy, oy.
Alright, I need to eat dinner and go to bed, so...